Hope is being able to see the light despite the darkness. A world of darkness. The Hogellum do not have a creation story. No island on the back of a turtle. No spoken word in the darkness. No Big Bang. If they did, it would be one that ended too soon. Or maybe the Hogellum are the cogs from which a world begins its creation, working to create first the tapestry of stars. In the time of the sapling, when the darkness was all that there was, the war of 1,000 nameless things desperately, endlessly waged. To end this meaningless struggle, the first Ancora ignited, and the first Hoggle was found. Though the darkness had found their meaning, they did not want to give up their power. They would bury the Ancora and the Hoggle that bore it. The Ancora knew this, and found others among the nameless things, the Hogellum, ready to carry. In the time of the young growth, when the nameless things were known and faces in the dark were seen, the Hogellum bickered and fought, claiming they were the true wielders of Ancora. Living in the green trees, the Hogellum would descend to trade their light for weapons, only to fight with other Hoggle. The Ancora became sick, dim, and weak. For fear that all light would be lost, a covenant was made. Hogellum would no more descend to low, and would live forevermore in the ever-living trees. Hogellum have lived above the low darkness in villages, carrying their Ancora, each believing that they are the true bearers. The 1,000 nameless things look up from the low to see a canopy of stars, 1,000 divided Hogellum. The elders, whose wrinkled face is illuminated by his amber Ancora, finishes his lecture as he has 100 times with the same fable. My son, there is a battle between two nameless inside us. One is evil. It is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, inferiority, lies, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. And for sure, a young Hogellum whose blue light shimmers bright humors the old man and asks, "But which nameless thing in me will survive?" The old Hogellum replies, "The one that you feed." And finally, the rituals and hard work of the shoot harvest are done. The celebration can now begin.
Hello, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream! Woo-woo! That's right, it's Wednesday night, and we are here to bring you a brand new adventure. The Hogellum went traveling! That's right, I am here with my very sexy brother, Mr. Alex. My fantastic friend, Mr. Chris Viseau. And the incomparable Justin Thomas James. That is right, and we are here on this lovely Wednesday night to celebrate a little bit of RPG fun. What I mean by celebration is that every Wednesday night is a celebration. Another day to thank how lucky we are to have you as a community watching us do this nonsense. How many times can you press the applause button in the first 5 minutes? We're going to find out. That's right. Tonight we are bringing you a one-shot, a brand new adventure that our very sexy GM, Mr. Chris Viseau, has crafted together. It's going to be a little bit loosey-goosey tonight. This is going to be a big improv-heavy game. We as players know very little about the game, and it seems like Chris, the GM, also knows. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is a new world. It is a new adventure. It is a whole bunch of new fun coming at you tonight. So stick around. It could be 18 plus. I don't really know. We'll see what fucking comes out of our mouths as we fucking play this thing. So, you know, be cautious because we could swear in the future. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, please go ahead and like the video. That is most important. Give it a thumbs up because it makes us feel really, really special. And there are 20 people watching and only 11 people have liked.
Just smash that like button. Smash it. Smash
it. Smash the like button. Fuck. I hate myself.
Smash it.
But seriously, like it. Just go ahead and do that. That makes us feel really great. If you are on Facebook, please follow along on our Facebook group chat. We talk a lot there. A lot of bullshit. A lot of shit gets flung at the wall and sees what sticks. So go ahead and join the Facebook group and make sure you like the Facebook. Oh my God, it shot up to 22 in like a second. It's so. See,
it works.
Say,
damn it!
It does work. See, people can hate. People can say, "Oh, fucking, I hate these guys when they ask for likes." But wait, I can't argue with it. It worked. It's now at 24 in like 2
Someone's
seconds.
smashing. Someone's doing a lot of smashing.
Thank you. That was quick. If you are a part of the Facebook group, then yeah, you can follow along and you can watch all this kind of nonsense. You know this. This is a free game. If you're watching this one, it's a wacky one. You should know us by now. If this is the first one that you're watching, jump 2 back or maybe one in the future.
Whoa. This one could be
hold on.
game.
I'm not saying it's going to be the best. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize. You're right. Stay here.
It's not going to be, but let me decide.
No, you're right. I'm so sorry.
The best.
You are 1,000% right. In fact, if you this should be the first one you start with, because I would argue this is going to be the truest versions of ourselves,
and it'll only get better from here.
I totally agree. No, I totally agree. You're right. I apologize. That was a no-no. That was no fair. So please stick around. This is the cool one. But do like, share, and all that stupid bullshit that I have to ask for. When you're part of the Facebook group, you win the chance of winning some experience points. Experience points that change the way that that the game is played. And I'm going to be posting about that tonight because this is a good game to be doing that. So I want you who have experience points to check the Facebook group. I'm going to tell you how to spend them, how many you have, and we're going to be really useful with the experience points tonight. So make sure you check on that. But one of the fantastic ways you can earn experience points is by winning MVP. And that is not most valuable player because that is a baseball only term.
Sports.
No.
Is that a sport?
No.
Yeah, they have it, not just baseball, I think.
No, I think I don't think baseball is a sport anymore. I think
it's a pastime now.
It's a pastime.
Well,
favorite
pastime.
It was in theory, but at one point
it goes.
I think it was NASA.
Also
when they did it, and something with space ice cream. So in any case,
have it in football.
Are part of our group, then you can win MVP by posting during the week and having a great little bit of fun by sharing stories. This week, I want to award MVP to a very special member of the group, someone who is so close to my heart that it's weird because I barely know him at all. This week, I would like to award the MVP. That's weird. They're going to be watching this being like, Mr. Cullen Cummings. Cullen had a fantastic post. First off, he started off by saying, look, I haven't been very active in the community. I only welcomed people. Like, that's a bad thing. It's always great to welcome people. But he asked the question, what is everyone's first tabletop RPG character? And it got the group rolling like thunder. And it was a lot of fun. So, Cullen, well done. You win the doorbell. So that was a fantastic job on you. I also want to give, now this isn't for experience points, but I got a shout out to this guy. This was awesome. We were having a conversation. I think William posted a conversation about immunizations and things like this. And hey, to each their own. You know what? It's a free place to discuss so long as you're not a dick about it. And no one was a dick about it, I'm happy to say. But I got to give super kudos in the form of a, let's say, gong. I got to give the Gong Award tonight to a very cool guy, Mr. Tim Sant. You get the Gong Award and a little bit of clapping. For sweeping in, and literally all he had to do was just choose his profession years ago, because we were talking about immunizations and vaccines and things like that, and he is an immunologist, and there was nothing that got my schadenfreude harder than him sweeping in and saying, hey guys, by the way, here's all the fucking facts you need to know. So huge, awesome job to Tim for just, because he said himself, he's like, my whole life has been preparing for this moment where I could discuss things that are my subject. So, it's just your line of work, so it's not MVP worthy, but it is totally noteworthy and gong worthy. Tim Sant, you are the Gong of the Week. The Gong of the Week is a new thing that I invented just now. It's going to be a lot.
Very improv heavy show, once again.
Very improv heavy show. So well done. Colin Cummings for winning the Doorbell Prize and for being the MVP, and Tim Sand for just doing what you do, frankly, and for being there in that moment was just so it's perfect. Not that you were arguing against anybody, no one was disagreeing, but it's always nice to just have someone, you know, like an expert in that field, just go wham. And I know Bob Lyle for one too was one person who was like super thankful for Tim to be there. I think Aisha even commented and was like, "Oh my God, Bob, you need to get into this conversation." It just it felt really good. I felt great. So well done, Tim and Colin. Thank you so much. Finally, I want to go ahead and say nothing else because I'm done. So, Chris, do you want to take it back? Want to drop it right there? I don't got fucking anything else. That's it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just as a heads up for everybody, that is not a perm.
Yes, it is.
Anyway,
he didn't tell you.
It's my true hair. Look, I've even left it.
Oh, wow. Oh, there's a bobby pin in there, Alex. There's a bobby pin.
Let me get that. Hold on.
Oh God!
Oh, I mean,
Well, Michael's not in this game, so we needed a new wig character.
Yeah, it felt weird.
So
It didn't feel weird. It felt weird at first when we saw the wig, and now that it was gone, we're like, we need a wig again.
Yeah, I think we definitely need a wig. In fact, I'm thinking of just buying an array of wigs to be on my wall, frankly, because our costumes are getting a bit elaborate.
Yeah,
Right?
I went with
What are you wearing there?
guy with a
What kind of
shirt.
tie is that?
This is a mascot.
A mascot? Are you sure that's what it's called?
No, I said it wrong perfectly. So
is it an arscot?
it's an arse hole.
It is an It's an arscot. Actually,
It's art.
That's what it is.
It's an asshole. All right, I got an asshole around my neck, and it's causing me a lot of pain. You know, this muscle is the same as your asshole muscle. I found that out the hard way.
What? I've seen this before.
What does that even mean? I don't know.
I had visuals. All right. So here's the thing, guys. I didn't tell you guys much about this world at all, and I wanted to, and here's why. I want you guys to wonder. Now, in reality, your characters, Peter Pinky, Woderwick,
Wacklebackle.
Oh, I'm sorry, because
Okay. People get it
one
wrong
that was
all
easy.
the time.
My friends just call me Pinky. You
Phlenny,
daft wanker.
Romper Squad have all lived in this
You can
village.
just call me Phlenny.
And you know everything about this village. You know, there's only 45 Hogellum in the village. It's called Ignis, Ignis.
It's pronounced Agnes.
Agus. And it is a pleasant place. It's a beautiful place full of light and hope. And today is a very special day. Like I said, the sprout harvest is finished. A lot of hard work. Luckily, you guys are just before the age where the work would begin. Your ancoras, or ancora, which are, you all have tails. At the end of your tail, you'll find this glowing orb of light that follows you everywhere you go. Think of the deep sea angler fish, except for it's a tail. And it comes out from your rear end.
Well, it's not weird for us. It's a nice time.
Oh,
In fact, I like seeing girls with a nice big ankle.
On a Friday night, I go down to the local shop, and me and some other girls, we twist some tails.
It's a very simple life that you guys have. Very much.
You're a girl.
I'm not a girl. I'm Phlenny.
Sorry, go ahead.
All this Ankara talk is making me uncomfortable.
Okay, so it's a very simple life. You guys live, and everything's provided for you by the tree that your village actually resides in. It was mentioned in the lecture from the old man. They call it the ever-living trees. And these are massive, massive trees. And all you really know of these trees is this one section which the village encapsulates. The village itself is made up of this mushroom-shaped dome that's translucent, so you can see out into the darkness beyond. But that translucent dome also takes the light and distributes it from all the anchor of the people that live in this village. So it glows in the darkness, this vast darkness. And out in the darkness, you see other villages. Now, there are so many that it seems like it's the night sky, but in reality, it's just other villages, at least you assume, of Hogellum. Now, like I said, today was a special day. You guys had finished the harvest of the sprout harvest, basically. And so it's a big celebration. And one of the older Hogellum, one of the few in your village who actually have this tail that's actually amber. And as you age, the color of the light changes. When you're young, it's blue, and it turns closer to white light as you're getting to your teen years, and then it turns yellow at your age. And then as it gets older, it turns amber and finally like a kind of a dull orange before it extinguishes. The elder who was talking, his name is Theodric. And there was a crowd of people who listened to him, but now the partying starts, and you go off. And how the village is set up is there are these funguses around the village that grow at the side of the tree, and from growth to growth, there are ladders or there are bridges made from vines that have been woven together over years, and people are now just going around enjoying themselves fermented sap that they have to drink, and they're partying and dancing, and you're going around enjoying yourselves.
Ooh.
As I often do.
I'm kind of just following Peter or Pinky around. I've got my tail in my hand, and I'm just looking around at all the lights. This is my favorite time of year because I say that to Pinky. This is my favorite time of year. I've love all the lights.
Aye. Makes me wonder what's in the future. Lost my accent already.
Wait, why are you talking strange, Pinky?
You changed
it's all this bleeding. It's all this bleeding alcohol.
It's the alcohol. Mine's changing too.
And you realize that, it's quite treacherous for you to get this drunk when you're this close to a precipice of darkness below that you don't know how far it transcends.
I look at down there, and I lean over and I take a spit.
Whoa, Pinky, what are you doing?
Woderwick, you ever wonder what's down there?
Hey, I'm on this level.
Well, Phlenny, you can't be down there. And I reach down and I pick him up, and Phlenny's been leaning on the side, trying to pee into the void.
I was just down there and someone spat on me.
You weren't all the way down there. Look, that's all the way down. That's a place we've never even seen before. And I help him up, and I put the other two on either side of me.
Didn't you guys hear what Theodwick was saying last year?
No.
He said not to throw or spit or do anything, not to put anything into that pit.
Well, I figured what he said was more of a metaphorical put anything in it, like how you've got nothing in your brain, son, like my daddy always used to say to me.
Well, I don't know, Pinky. Where's my accent going now?
No,
It's all right. Don't worry about it. You know how it is.
As you three are talking there, looking over, I guess, the edge of the fungal growth that you're standing on, that's surrounding this tree that you're on. And you got a picture. This is a massive tree. We're talking hundreds of meters in diameter. Huge.
Meters.
Yeah, it's this massive tree, enough to house 45 different Hogellum and their housing and everything, right, on these huge fungi. It makes you feel small just looking at how big this tree must be. And again, you can't see anything below, and you can't see anything above. You just see out in the distance these lights that look like stars, but hopefully there are other Hogellum out there, and that's the only hope that you have.
And now, as I take a drink, I say that to these guys. Do you ever wonder those little lights, if there's maybe a Hogellum out there for both you and I, Woderwick?
Oh,
Merimidas.
what?
Merimid. Another Hogellum walks over to you.
Oh.
You guys are behaving like you usually do. You'll never leave this village. You guys know that you need to find someone in the village who will love you. I don't know who would.
What's his name?
But you need to find someone. Merimus.
I love me.
Mary,
Yes, you would.
You're not very nice to us.
And he reaches down, and he reaches down, and he pulls a piece of sap that has dropped down, and he rolls it in his hand. chew on this lozenge, okay, Phlenny? Your voice is really grating. Here you go. And he hands him a lozenge for him to.
And I slap it out of Maramus's
Son of
hand.
me!
And I slap it out and say, you know what, Maramus? You and the other ones always make fun of the three of us. Maybe like if he can't say R and he's got a scratchy voice and I've got an accent that's not unlike all the rest of you. But you know what? We are going to do whatever the hell we want. And if we decide to leave this place one day, we're going to do it because we are the three best friends in the world. Ain't that right, boys?
Yeah.
We could have.
Yeah.
Did you not listen to anything that the elder said
Say again. What
about
was it?
about the covenant and the agreement that we made? You know, we've been in these trees for as long as time has been known, and the reason for that is because of what he was talking about. Before we were living in turmoil and we nearly killed our Ancora. It was because of people like you who would fight and do anything just because they wanted to. We need to protect this, and so we need to stay in the trees.
Us? What crisp do you have to say? And I throw a punch at him in my drunken stupor. But I definitely miss. I'm not even gonna roll for it. You fucker!
And he sidesteps.
Hey,
Hold me back!
And I do. I grab him I grab his
Thanks.
hand.
Oh, if he wasn't holding me back right now, people like us.
It's people like you, Pinky, that make me question that the Ancora chose wisely to have the Hogellum be its bearer. And he walks away, and you see the light flick with his tail, kind of frustratingly as he walks away.
Is he an amber or yellow like us?
He's a little bit older than you, so it's a little bit more, not quite amber, but it's a little oranger than yours.
What's a slur for other Hogellum?
I don't know. What is a good one? Let's see.
How about
Dimlet.
Dimlet? Oh, I like that.
Ah.
This fucking Dimlet thinks he can get away
And
with
he
saying whatever
stops,
he wants
and
to
you
us.
see that tail stop. He flicks around, and the tail is kind of there beside him, glowing in your face.
Well, I was talking about a different Dimlet, obviously, Maramus. It's not that I was talking directly to you. I was saying it in a figure of speech.
come on, Maramus. We all get along here in Ignis.
Phlenny, maybe you should eat that fucking lozenge. And I put him down. It's not normally this bad. And I
Stop
shove it.
making fun of me. This is the way I've always sounded.
This is supposed to be a good night, guys.
And
You
it
know
is,
what?
and you look
Woderwick's
around, and
right.
there is beautiful Hogellum, who are dancing and having a great time. Except for there is sort of, it's not as merry as it had been in the past years. And the reason for that, it's heavy on your mind too, is the fact that there aren't as many lights out there as there once were. In fact, a neighboring village to the north of you has recently dimmed at first and then eventually went out.
But do we know that?
You do know this. You know that some of the lights have gone out, and people don't like to talk about it because it makes them uncomfortable. This has never happened in the generations and generations of Hogellum. But it's gone out. A whole village of Hogellum, ones that you've never interacted with, and you only speculate that's other villages because it glows the same way yours does, has gone out and disappeared. What could have done it? People talk and wonder, but they're not sure.
Maybe they were all sweeping.
I don't know if that's good. If it's that likely, Woderwick. I don't know. I like to think that, but I think maybe, and I grab my tail as I look at it, maybe our life's just not meant to be on forever.
What? What?
Hold on. Okay, let's take it down. Let's just grab a drink for now. Look, there's a few pretty lasses. I mean, Maramus might be a fucking dimlet, but he's not exactly wrong. There are some nice women in this village of 45.
And then
I don't have a lot of choice, but there are a few.
as he says that,
A lot of competition, though.
As he says that, I turn and look out across the dim night sky and just kind of get lost in thought.
There's got to be some more other Hogellums out there. Still.
I Phlenny. I'm sure there are. But you know what? Maramus might not be wrong. And I put my hands on either of his shoulders and I turn around. There's plenty of young lady here for you. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, young Margie's got her eye on you. And Margie waves from the other side.
Hi, Philomena!
And then you hear some people, I hope they don't have more children in that line of family.
Is it just me? Or is her voice kind of annoying?
Yeah, just a bit. Phlenny, why don't you go ask her to dance? Woderwick and I, we'll go get another round, and you go make yourself.
Well, I don't know. See, I'm not really good at dancing.
And I push him into the middle of the dance floor.
Hi, Magdalene.
And she responds to you.
Dance.
Yeah, I could dance with you.
Wait till these guys hit puberty. It is going to go crazy.
So as you guys approach the bar, and there's a man that you recognize. He looks up at you and says, "What can I get for you?"
Well, for me, I'll have whatever's on tap. And I point to the big tap sticking out of the tree.
Pours one. He says, "There you go, late in the season, but it still tastes pretty good and it'll do the job. I heard you guys talking about, the other village. And unfortunately, I don't think they just went to sleep, Woderwick. I think it's more likely that a disease took them."
Disease? We don't have any diseases.
Well, not as of late, but when I was young and my tail was bright blue, there was a sickness that came upon us and we lost a few. Perhaps that sickness has spread to the others and maybe they too are suffering and have lost so many numbers that their lights cannot be seen from our distance.
Do other people know about this?
Well, it's just speculation. I mean, you know it's speculation because the fact of the matter is no one leaves the village. No one ever goes, no one ever arrives. It's agreed upon that the tree provides everything for you guys. And, the covenant, which is this, this belief that you are meant to stay in the tree because during the time of the 1,000 nameless things in the great darkness, you guys were blessed with the Ankora and you were fighting over it about who was the right ones to bear it. And so you guys decided to ascend into the trees so that even the dark creatures could have the light. Even the 1,000 nameless things could have the light and no more bickering and fighting would happen between the Hoggle.
Aye. And a good decision it was, I say, Woderwick, yeah?
I'm sorry, Pinky. Sorry. I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared about, lad. Listen.
As soon as you say that, a scream echoes out from across the way. Right where Phlenny is dancing. Phlenny. How do you say your name? I'm going to call you Phil.
Just call me Phlenny.
Phlenny.
It's like Lenny with an F.
Phlenny.
Phlenny.
There's a scream, and as you're dancing around the end of the ledge that you're on, a darkness, a shadow creeps up from the other side, grabs the girl you're dancing with, and tears her over the edge as she plummets into the darkness. And this creature, covered in mist and smoke, comes up and faces you. His face shrouded in metal, with a jaw and jagged teeth looking, but yet the smoke kind of is around him. And he starts tearing around as others start to climb in. And you see this happen.
Jesus Christ. We need to get out of here right away. And I run over and I grab Phlenny on the shoulder and I yank him towards Woderwick and I.
And it's funny because you guys are set into action so quickly, and yet all the other Hogellum around you are almost stricken with, can't even comprehend what's going on. They've never seen anyone come or go from the village, and they're standing there like, what is happening? As more hands are coming up, grabbing these Hogellum and tearing them over the edge into the darkness. As you see their light start to fade and fall into the darkness.
To Pinky and Woderwick, and I say, "To the archives, follow me!" And then I start running into the basement archives.
Oh,
perfect.
Jesus.
So you're going to one of the lowest tiers of the, climbing down ladder after ladder, across bridge, and you're swinging and jumping from ledge to ledge as you see Hogellum. Justin, would you lower that count in your corner down by 5?
I'm by 5.
We lost 5 people already.
Oh,
You're jumping
I don't even know what's going on.
Cheese and crisp.
Maybe
and already your village seems a little bit dimmer and darker. And as you're going down, you finally make yourself close to one of the oldest growths there, one of the first growths, and it is the archive. And it actually goes into an opening into the bark of the wood as you go in, and there's books and books and scrolls of forgotten stories and tales.
As we walk in, I'll
follow him, obviously, yeah.
And I say to the other guys, I say,
I was down here just the other day, and I was reading on the history of Hogellums and everything, and we might be able to find something, but I knew that this was a nice, quiet place where we could get away from the monsters.
Phlenny, we're deep in the tree, though. This is the most dangerous place to be. If they ever try to climb down and get us, we're cornered.
Well, at least we're away from the edge.
And Theodric, you look there, and Theodric is actually sleeping in the corner. You hear a snoring.
Oh, jeez and Christ! Did you sleep through all that? Theodric! And I throw a heavy book at him. We're being attacked, you daft loony.
And you see his very droopy Ancora kind of go above him so you can see him in that orange glow. And he says, what do you mean we're being attacked?
What do you mean? What do I mean? There's big shadowy creatures with metal faces grabbing all the people upstairs during the Sprout Festival harvest thing.
And he hobbles up to you. And he
Well, take your fucking time.
You've been drinking again, Pinky. Why did you wake me? And he goes back.
Dean, you can't be this daft. Woderwick, talk some sense into him.
Mr. Theodwick, we're not joking. We do feel for our wives right now.
I didn't know you were married. Anyways.
No, he said lives.
I can't pronounce L's either.
And he's like,
you're right, you're fucking daft.
As soon as Woderwick says this,
on him.
Theodric actually starts to believe, because although Pinky has been known to tell a few tales in his time, it's it's entertainment for you. Woderwick is more it's shoot it straight as an arrow, truth be told every time. And he goes, Woderwick, what do you mean? What is there outside?
Exactly what Pinky said. There's people that are being pulled off of the ledge and going into the darkness and falling. I think we've already lost 5 villagers. And
he quickly pushes himself up and walks out of the door. And he looks outside, and just as he does, you see another villager plummet past him.
They look like giant rats, almost like what do you call them, Woderwick?
What? What?
No, like
get inside. And he pushes you guys in. Just as again that villager plummets. So Justin, drop another number 1.
1. Ooh.
And he pushes you guys inside. And then he locks the door and he says, We can't do anything about this now. The other villagers, I hope, will have sense enough to get themselves hidden away. We need to hide and wait.
But have you ever seen anything like it? I can't describe it. They're like rats, but more.
And he goes through all the books and he opens up this massive.
Tell him what he looks like. I don't know.
It's like rodents roaming on the rooftops.
That's what he said.
What?
Rodents on the rooftops.
Rodents running on the rooftops.
He said rodents running on the rooftops. Don't be such a daft wanker.
Right, of course. And again, he pulls this book open, and it's this huge tome, and he opens it, and he flips around, and you see all these creatures and these drawings of shapes more than anything else. Very vague and very old and torn.
And Pinky is nervously pacing back and forth and looking up the ladder to the thing. And
it's the darkness. They've come.
You found it? As I'm flipping through a book myself. You found it. You found it.
But the book's upside down for Phlenny, and I go over and I turn it right side up.
And he stops there and he looks at you and he says, "Then the covenant has been broken."
What are you talking about? This was all. I thought this was just a fairy tale. This wasn't real.
Why do you think we tell you this every year? Why do you think
it's like like the Bible? Like, it's not real. It's just stories to make.
What is the job of the elder? What did you think I did?
I honestly thought you just got drunk all day and slept in the book depository, which, frankly, when we found you, is not too far from.
I do that sometimes, yes, but mostly I am the keeper of tales and truths, and the most important truth is the covenant. We've agreed, the Hogellum, to protect the Ancora and stop our bickering and stay up in the ever-living trees while the darkness exists below, knowing that there will always be light above. It is a balance and an understanding that has been going on since before my time, before this village. and now it has been broken as the darkness has risen up to take the Hogellum down.
But why do you think that the darkness is doing this?
I don't know, but if we have any hope, we need to defend ourselves now. And he goes and he looks like he is looking for something in the room. And he goes and he finds this big metal spike that's kind of in like a big tome to keep the page. He pulls it off and he says, we need to defend ourselves.
With what? Giant metal spikes?
And just then the door, you hear it starts getting bang, bang as it's moving in.
Give me the spike then, you old bastard. And like grab it from him.
You grab it from it, and he's old, so it's not too hard to take.
Well, he's not. It makes more sense for.
I'd like to do a roll. Do I know if there's a back door to this
tree?
Like a basement door? Maybe there's something hidden in a bookshelf or something about a secret staircase in a book.
Sure. Why don't you do a roll? We're gonna do a search roll, so you can use your intellect to see how successful you are. By the way, we're using the cipher system, so roll 1d20 for that.
Okay, 1d20 plus my cipher, or just one? Or
you don't have a cipher.
If you're gonna use cipher, my intellect.
Your intellect, you can use intellect points to boost it. So if you use 3 points, you can boost it, lower it by 1 level. If you use 2 points after that, you can lower it by another level.
Okay.
And I just nervously
I'm not gonna
point this at the door without approaching it and backing away from it. Actually,
I'm scared, Pinky. I'm so worried.
11.
Fuck it too. I'm not drunk enough for this.
Kill whatever comes in.
Phil, you actually find a case that looks very old in the back, kind of tucked away, almost hidden. And you pull a tapestry off the top, and there's this old wooden chest that looks like it's made from the same bark of the tree.
Here! I knew it! And I remove the top, whatever was on top of it, and I open it up.
And there inside you see this little vial, and inside is this orange-looking liquid.
Maybe I didn't know it. I open up the vial and I smell it.
Okay, as soon as you smell it, the liquid shoots and it hits you in the face and starts oozing on your face.
Cheese and crisps! Help him, Woderwick!
But it's not like attacking you. It's just kind of attaching itself to you. And as you try to think, oh, get away from me, it moves down your arm and into your hand, away from your eye.
Oh. Well,
and again, the door slams, bang, bang. And you think that the brace that's keeping the door shut is slowly giving and splintering.
I speak to the goo. I say,
Peter didn't want me to.
What's that?
I speak to the goo and I say, do you know a way out?
It doesn't react.
Okay.
I turn to, what is it, Theoden? What's his name?
Theodric.
What do we do? Does this do anything? And can we get out of here?
And just like that, the door slams open, and this creature, again, this misty creature with this metallic head with big teeth, comes closer and closer towards you, kind of dragging its limbs, if there were limbs. But again, it's all shrouded in shadow. And it comes closer to you, and it's very tall as it elongates itself, looking over top of you.
And
it looks like it's about to grab you.
And I just keep backing away as it walks in.
And it grabs Theodric and starts pulling him out, and he's dragging on the floor as his tail, his Anor is lashing out, trying to grab things as it's going by. Books are falling off the shelves.
What do we do?
The edge. Help me, guys! Don't let him take me.
And I run up and what is he grabbing him by?
We'll say the Ancora.
And I cut off his Ancora.
Oh.
He screams out, and it's just this horrible, blood-curdling, hopeless scream. Now, before you do that, Pinky, I want to let you know how devastating that would be to a hog.
Oh, then I wouldn't do it. Is it like the
it's like the equivalent of it's like the equivalent of chopping a limb off, but like it's more significant, like your best arm.
I figured, I'm okay with that.
Your testicles.
Yeah. You're okay with that?
But it's not like cutting your head off.
No, it's just like you could make someone severely depressed by cutting their Ancora off.
Well, but you said he's a mist monster, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on the obvious assumption that if I try to cut the mist, it would go whoop and he'd die.
Right.
Okay. Well, but actually, he grabbed this, didn't he?
Theodrin
or whatever.
Yeah, it's Theodric.
Did this look significant? Did he grab this specifically, or was it just the first thing that he found?
It's like the only thing of metal you've seen.
Oh, okay. Then I will try to chop the beast.
Okay.
I didn't realize. I figured this would be like a whoom. No, he gets dragged away and dies. So I'll run up and I'll
swing.
Yeah, I'll swing at the mist.
Can you roll a might?
Yes, I can. I forget how this game works. Is low good or high good?
High is good. So I set a number in my head, and you have to beat that number.
Right. So I have 13.
3, right?
13 only applies when you say, I want to use effort, and you take points from your pool.
Right. So 7.
7, and it's successful.
Cool.
You hit it, and you hear a boom, and you feel it vibrate in your hand. The first time you've ever acted this violently ever.
I'm still nervous doing it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You guys are like very simple creatures, and you smoke this thing, and it reacts and turns to you. And
I start throwing books at it.
And it keeps getting hit by it. And keeps getting hit by the books.
I think it's the metal.
Just then, you hear, and he disappears. He's like a snap in the air, like a crackling electric noise, and the creature's gone.
Wow.
Theodric is sitting there breathing as you see the nail marks as he was trying to claw to make sure he didn't get pulled over the edge.
Theodric, I almost cut off your tail there in an alternate mindset, I swear.
On a different timeline, it would have happened. And he stands up, he pushes himself up, and he says, "Thank you, Pinky.
No,
you saved me."
No, I don't want to use this thing. And I hand it to Woderwick. And Woderwick, you're much smaller than me, aren't you? Or larger than me?
Oh, I am larger, yeah.
Yeah, and you're a bit stronger looking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hand it to you. I say, I don't want to use this anymore. That's not for me.
Well, what am I supposed to do with it?
Woderwick, you're stronger than me. You're better than me. You're faster than me. It's all yours.
I'm not good at hurting things.
Oh, it looks like you'll have to hurt things to get out of here, Woderwick. I trust you, please.
And Theodric pushes, as he's getting himself up, he says, "We need to make sure the others are okay." And he pushes out the door, and he starts moving to the closest ladder, and he starts climbing the ladder. And as he does, you guys follow. And as you guys are making your way over the last step of the ladder, over onto the next ledge, the next fungal growth, you see what looks to be a horrific scene. A scene of merriment not 10 minutes ago has now turned into a scene of destruction. There were tables turned over. There were people who have been helped, lifted over the edge. Hogellum crying, weeping, calling out names into the darkness, crying down the eternal darkness below, just crying out names. And people see Theodric getting up on the last ring, and you guys, they all turn to Theodric, looking for answers.
Cheese and crisp. What are we going to do?
I don't know, Pinky. Wusty Wed Wayne's, this is scary.
Phlenny, are you all right? And I walk over to Phlenny. I heard you screech. I heard you screech so loud that your voice changed.
The jokes are not appreciated, Pinky.
Fair enough. Maybe it's in my own mind.
I believe it was. I've still got this orange thing.
And I immediately think of it going onto Pinky's shoulder.
And as soon as you do, it jumps from your hand. It like turns into kind of like a spring-like thing and jumps to Pinky's shoulder. Now it's
cheese and crisp.
And as soon as Pinky thinks cheese and crisp, like, get away from me, again, it shoots down to Pinky's hand, and now it's in his palm.
Oh, I don't want this. And I tell it to go back to go back to Phlenny. It's not.
And it springs back. And as you guys are doing this, and people are kind of looking devastated, and you guys are doing your slapstick type thing.
What the hell is this? Get off of doing?
We're not right, young Hogellum. Quiet! And Theodric addresses the crowd in his booming oratory voice.
Is MetaMask still alive, by the way?
I think in my pocket, by the way.
MetaMask.
The one you spoke to, you guys didn't have a fun time with? Yes, he is.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Look at that cheese and crisping.
But he walks over to you, Pinky, and says, "I'm glad to see you still with us."
Oh, me too, you friend.
As I said, we had fears. But we are the Hogellum. We are hope incarnate. Do not despair. There is an explanation for this. The covenant will hold true. This is an insignificant event in the timelessness that is the ever-living trees and the darkness below and the light of the Ancora. We will find answers. We will send Hogellum to understand better why the covenant has been broken. These 3 men, and he turns.
Here, those 3 men.
And he realized everyone's looking at you guys. We will send. And then people start shouting, but where are they going to go? We've never left the village. What happened to our loved ones? Are they gone? And he quiets the crowd and goes, we will get to the bottom of this. We will find out what has happened to the other villages. So it does not happen to Ignis. And you hear the crowd not really contented by this, but he gestures as if to say that's the end of the discussion, and he walks away and gestures to you guys to follow.
Did we just get volunteers for that, Woderwick?
And Theodoric, is climbing back down the ladder. As he's walking by, he strains up a table and kind of comforts, someone as he walks by.
Hold on, Theodoric. I think maybe there's been a miscommunication here. I believe you.
How so?
Well, you mentioned that 3 would go and find out what was going on, but I think you mistakenly pointed to us because we were just standing there. But I don't think you meant to point to us. I'm sure you meant Meramas or one of his strapping young friends over there.
Oh, is that right?
Two blonde guys who just kind of look like this.
Yeah, they're always going to the jungle gym
together. Yeah, I hear them grunting behind the bushes. I think they're the ones that they seem to be big, strong men. I think you meant to point to them, no?
Pinky, do you have a family?
Well, not in the parlance of our
Woderwick,
time, no.
When was the last time you worked at harvesting the amber from the tree? Phil, do you have anyone in this world aside from these 2 gentlemen?
Well, of course,
I thought. I have not just chosen you because of the skill,
because we're losers too,
strength and courage that you have, but because I know you'll look after each other, because you 3 are all you have here.
But just because we don't have anything doesn't mean that we're... No, Phlenny, just because we don't have necessarily the most interesting, connections to the group doesn't mean that we're meant to be outcasts and sent away.
And he keeps going down and he gets to the next level and he opens the archive doors and says, you are not being sent away. You have been chosen. It is clear that you had the courage to attack and defend me. And he goes and blows off a tome, opens it up and he looks. And he pulls out a page and he rips it off.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to rip those. I think they're meant to be more preserved.
And he gives it to you. And he says, this is one of the last information we have of the old covenant and the agreement that we had. It's a map, and it will show you where to go to get some answers. At least, if not answers, weaponry that we can defend ourselves. We used to have one of the most advanced creations of weapons. We had forges that would create magical weapons that could destroy entire forests of trees and defend ourselves from the thousands of nameless things.
I've read about it all.
Up in order to live a peaceful life, in order to shine the Ancora among the darkness below. But perhaps it's time, if the covenant is broken, we will need to defend ourselves again.
Let's be brave. We can do it. We can defend this place.
I agree, Mr. Wampasquat. I think we really need to work together, and we're the only ones who can do it.
It sounds to me like we're the only ones that are expendable enough to do it, but hell, if my love for this tree and this people isn't worth anything, then yeah, all right. I guess it's up to us.
We're doing it for hope.
I don't think I'd have it in me if it was just me, but with Pinky and Mr. Wackleback, I believe we can do it. I really do.
All right. We're just ignorant farmers, after all. I mean, tree farmers, obviously. I suppose this is our great adventure.
And you are reluctant, and you're fearful, because more than anything, it's you have no idea what could be down there. No one does. Not even Theodoric can describe to you what you will witness once you leave this tree.
I have an idea. And it goes to Pinky
thinking what it's like.
where Pinky's walking down a road and naked women are on either side, smiling, waving through.
Which states about how powerful his imagination is, because he's never seen a road. And these women without tails, it's really amazing.
And both are holding large vats of beer.
Never drinking a beer in his life, an amazing.
And that's what's the bubble in his head as I'm looking.
Cedric walks through the bubble and it disapparates, and it's like, stop this.
And I sit and I ponder for a moment, and a bubble appears beside my head, and I start to think about grass and dirt. Do they really exist? I would love to see grass.
And he holds you guys, one on each of the three, one shoulder and the far shoulder, and he says, remember this, and perhaps this can bolster your courage. Light can always penetrate darkness, but darkness will never be able to penetrate light. You will see things down below that are undescribable, that have changed even more grotesque from being without light for so long. Things that will hate you because you represent hope. But you need to protect the Ancora, the village, and yourselves while you're down there. When you go down, you are to follow this path, and he shows you a path. And he says, if you get lost, if you lose your Ancora, you could be lost forever in the darkness, eternally. Follow this path and stay true to it. If you manage that, you will come to some of the I gotta find the name. Ancoraxons. Those that we had left behind to guard our creations, to guard the weapons and armors and artifacts that we left behind just in case this did not work. They shall be slumbering, waiting for you to return. You will explain to them that the covenant has been broken and that we need to return to the old ways. Do so in as quickly a manner as you can, for we do not know when these dark figures will return to snatch more of our loved ones.
Those
and he walks you.
They're called the Thoraxons?
Not Thoraxon. Ancoraxon. So Ancorax, Ancora, Ancoraxians. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Ancoraxians.
Is there anything you can tell us that will help us in our quest? What if one of those massive beasts should come at us? There must be something we can do.
I can tell you that not everything you will find down there is out to hurt you. Darkness is not the same as evil. Though there are evil things down below, do not mistake those that live among evil to always be evil.
But do they have beer?
And he smiles at you. There are delicacies down there that to the likes you've never witnessed.
Oh, thank God.
Pinky.
But most importantly, do they have beer?
And he laughs and says, I hope I've chosen wisely. And he points to the one, like a very sturdy looking set of vines that come up and grab onto where the bark. And he says, please make haste. We don't know when they'll return.
Those go down? I've seen those since I was just a little hoggle-boggle. And I never knew where they went. Now I get to go down them.
And I walk over to the vines and I start to climb over the...
But before we leave, well, I said, hold on, Phlenny, I need to grab something. And I go back to my little room and I grab some rope, 10 feet of rope.
Okay, woven from vines and shoots that have grown off the tree.
My trusty twig, which is a nice big stick.
A solid stick. Yeah, like walking stick or a short staff.
Yeah,
exactly. Would say a walking stick.
And I'm gonna bring my whittler's comb, which is just like a very sharp comb for my hair.
Right. So you actually find that it's made, as many things are, like hardened amber, almost stone from the sap from the tree that they can fashion into tools. Justin, do you bring anything?
Well, I have that piece of metal.
And, yes, you do. It's like a rod. It was used kind of to hold the page down.
Okay.
And also to keep, it's like a bookmark / to hold the page down. These huge tomes, right? So you need something pretty substantially heavy. We're talking a good 1.5 foot length.
Yeah. Okay. And I grab like a bag of food from Theodric.
Yep. And he gives you some of, some of the harvest that they just recently finished and hands it to you. So these will last for your journey.
And could I have one last drink of tap sap before I go?
Tap sap.
You think it's wise before you descend this, and he looks over the edge.
I can hand him my wicker.
And
Hey,
says,
make that 3 tap
for the
saps.
courage. And he goes back up, the ladder, grabs you 3, and comes down and says, to your journey.
To our journey.
Here's hoping they have beer.
Hope.
And then I think, as I take another drink of my tap sap, and I run down to the archive, and I'm looking for a particular book that says things you might find not in the
in
tree.
the darkness. All right, and the only thing I wanted to bring too
Not the tree for dummies.
I wanted to bring my little shaving mirror too from my bathroom.
And do I find the little book?
Okay, you can find something really highly polished amber.
Perfect. That's what
it's almost, and you can find, that'll work.
I like.
Say that again. You don't find that book. Unfortunately,
Do I find a
that
book?
knowledge is lost. You might find the book, but you can't read it because that the
Okay,
upkeep of these
I'm going to
books-
bring it. I'm going to bring it, though. Even if it's not in the language that I can read it.
That's fine. Okay, you think you found a book that could be it, but you're not sure.
Dancing instructions, Phlenny.
No, let me look at it.
And as I climb to the ladder, I turn to Theodrin one more time and I say, "We won't fail you, but if we do, sorry." And I start climbing down.
And then I start climbing down and I say, "We won't fail you, but if we do, we won't be back." And I start climbing down.
Pressure's on, Justin.
I go down, Laz, and I say, I might fail you, but I'll try not to. I go down.
And
And then in the darkness, I say, "I really hope they have beer."
this ladder slowly just turns into vines. Like it's no longer a ladder because no one's ever gone down it, and the vines have just overgrown this thing.
Well, I hope they have grass.
And it's a strange perspective to have as you're climbing down, as the glowing light of your village is now above you, a scene you've never seen, and the glowing light of the other villages are now above you, and you seem to be climbing for ages and ages and miles
damp and
and miles. And as you get down further and further, you see that the villages keep ascending, getting smaller and smaller until they're very small to the point where they're just pinholes of light in the sky. And all that you
They're
have
so
for light
small.
around you is your Ancora that hovers behind you,
Almost to the point where they're just pinholes.
and your feet touch down on the ground.
Oh.
And the texture, the feeling
bottom.
of the earth
Wow.
is like nothing you've experienced before. The dampness and the cold of being this low in altitude after living so high up is bizarre.
strange.
But your lungs feel great. You feel like you could breathe for days.
Ah.
It's just so much oxygen.
Is this?
The
Do you
air.
think this is what? Do you think this is what dirt is? And I bend down and I take a handful of the ground.
And it's almost wet. And you bring it up, and it's very wet, seeping soil.
And I lick it.
And it tastes earthy. And
I don't know
gritty.
what it tastes like. I don't know.
It's not a tree.
It's incompatible.
Let me
I
try
was
some.
laughing when I was thinking about this campaign. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to describe everything. Well, this is how a human would understand, but you have no words for it.
Mm.
What is this? What is this?
And I look down. Sorry, go ahead, Water.
Oh, I think I like it.
It's not bad. I think we'd probably eat it if we needed to. And I look down. It's all sod or soil?
Yeah, it's very, like this lichen, gray and almost like purple hued lichen all around you. And as you walk and your Ancora shines, you notice that the lichen either is withering, and different species of it seems to actually crawl away from where your Ancora shines.
I think this goes all the way down. What's below this?
I don't. What? Phlenny, do you know?
Below this?
Yeah.
No,
gotta be more
what's
down.
below this? Don't blow this. What's below this?
What's below this? Actually, accordingly to the books that I've read,
There's more below this.
No, I
More-
understand that, but what's below that?
more of this is below this.
No, I understand that, but what's below that, Phlenny?
More of this.
Okay, once we're done with more of this, what's below that?
Just lots of this. Just lots of this.
Long way down. Phlenny, hold on. Let's think for a second. If I start cutting your hair, I cut and cut and cut. When I'm done cutting your hair, what do I hit?
This is what I'm saying.
You're daft.
There's just more hair.
All right, but let's pretend for a second that the hair is the ground beneath our feet. What happens if we keep digging down?
And just like that, funk, this spiky, round, spherical thing shoots and attaches itself to the furry body of Woderwick. Yes, you guys have fur. You didn't ask, and I didn't tell you. But so the hairiness that is his shoulder, that is bare, it attaches to him, and it hits you.
What the hell is
that sensation? The pungent, putrid smell, and I would describe it to humans as a smell of dead bodies and rotting fruit and
don't like that.
rubber. It is horrible.
Should we try eating it? Maybe it's one of those things. I take a little bit.
And as soon as you touch it, you realize it pulls on Woderwick, and it kind of hurts as he pulls away. Boink! Ah! Woderwick,
What is it?
can you remove 1 point from 39?
Oh.
And you hear a
Really hurt.
thump, really loud, probably 200 feet away from you.
Oh.
And I get my rod out, and I stand in front of the other two.
And thwack, thwack! More of these orbs attach themselves to both Pinky and Phil.
Ow! Jesus Christ!
Oh.
I mean, cheese and crisp.
What is it?
Crisp is right.
I think we're under attack.
We need to run.
One.
And as you run, you see these things flying through the air trying to get a hold of you. So you need to move swiftly to dodge them. And you do actually recognize that as your anchor sways, the things, one that was coming towards you gets into the light and immediately shoots the other direction.
Oh, a light stopping it. So I take my amber and I hold it up to my light to make the light a little bit bigger.
Nice. It actually projects it and shoots the light and spreads it out. And as you do, you see the things kind of writhing as they're rolling towards you. These little black, spiky, almost look like, to describe it to us, it's a mixture of an enemy. Not an enemy. What am I calling?
A friend. It's either a friend or an enemy.
An enemy.
And mixed with like a burr.
Okay.
So like an urchin that's jumping towards you. And as it's rolling towards you, the light's stopping it and they start to roll away. And the ones that are on you get off. And that smell starts to subside.
They don't like the light.
I bring my tail around to the front of me and I hold it like up in front of me type thing.
And you guys do have the ability to control the light. Like you can control your tail as it's like an extra arm or something, right?
I have an idea. Why don't we stand all with our backs to each other?
I was thinking the same thing.
Same thing, Mr. Wumpa Squat. High five.
High five, Woderwick.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, sort of, but not exactly that at all. But I like it. Let's do it.
High five, Pinky.
High five, Pinky.
Thank you. And
now, who has the map?
I left it up there.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought you had it.
No, I'm kidding. It's right here.
Oh, good. I've got this book that I can't read.
Who's going to be in charge of watching the map?
Yes, I will, because I can read a map. That's not upside down. All right. Yeah, so it looks like there's darkness this way, and darkness this way, and darkness that way, and darkness that way.
Should we go into the darkness?
I suppose that's one of 4 options. No, I'm going to read the map, and I'm going to follow the trail that's led out first.
Okay, so you just got to be careful because you guys are completely disassociated, just completely lost in the dark. You have your light. And you do notice that there's this ancient stone kind of walkway underneath you as you're walking around. And it does kind of seem to correlate and bend and turn with the map. So it's not going to be impossible to follow, but even the lichen that's on there, some of it dying, covers it. Others creep away as you walk through the darkness.
I bring my tail right down to the ground to look for the path better.
And as you're walking,
and I'm going to stand still while he's walking, so he's in my eye.
Right. So as he's walking, you start hearing splash, splash as your feet start to hit what seems water.
What do you see, Phlenny?
Water.
And what's beyond that?
And it seems to be like these puddles.
And what's beyond that, Phlenny?
I think it's that brown stuff that tastes like not bark.
And what's beyond that?
I don't know.
God, Phlenny, you're so daft. And I start walking towards him.
Okay, and you see these puddles that kind of are spilling over into the pathway, but they seem to be very deep, just off the path.
I'm thinking maybe that we're supposed to stay on this path.
Might as well. Better than walking around aimlessly.
And as you continue,
I like the feel of this water.
And I start to take off my shirt and my pants.
No,
Go
Phlenny,
for
that's
a
a bad
swim.
idea. Leave your clothes on right now. Look, but gentlemen, we're basically undercover. A lot of the people down here don't understand what our kind are. So we want to be as covered in light and noticeable as possible to remain undercover.
Okay.
And I look at the map and make sure that we are on the right path.
do you give me a roll?
But I think we should try and stay on the path because it looks like there's puddles and deep puddles.
Yeah, you can follow it for sure. You basically seem to think that as long as you stay with these cobblestones, you'll be fine. As long as you don't lose track of them, and so far so good. Now, as you're going, the path seems to narrow as these puddles really encroach on the path. And they seem to be getting closer and closer into the path.
I'm going to avoid the puddles as much as I can.
And what are you doing, Phil?
Pulling up the rear. Following the path.
So
as well.
you all need to roll a agility test. So go ahead and do that.
Speed. Boom, boom.
Bum, 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 bum,
Oh, no, 3.
bum.
I'm busy looking at the map.
Okay, so as Peter's pinky Welton is looking at the map, he doesn't watch his footing, and he stumbles on one of the cobblestones. And as he stumbles, his face falls into the water, and he feels the wetness on his cheeks. And he looks down through the water, and there is nothing.
Nothing
He
in the
pulls
water.
his head up. His face did not touch anything. It just felt wetness just on the outline of where the water touched his face, and then nothing.
Pinky, are you all right? Are you all right?
What is it, Pinky? What happened?
There's water down there. I dropped my face in it, but it's wet. But I'm drying it off now. But there's something. It's deep. There's no bottom in sight. So it's not just soil on soil on soil, Winker. It looks like this puddle goes straight down.
Well, I bet you there's soil under that.
As you guys continue walking, you come across on the paved stones or the cobblestones, you see an outline of, you can't even describe it, but it looks red and there's hair in it, and you see what looks like the remains of an ancora lying across the path.
Oh, God.
This could be the remains of an ancora lying across the path.
And I run over to them quickly.
As I do, too.
And as you get there, you recognize some of the clothing that is in this pile of mashed flesh.
Now,
Jeez.
The outline of looks like of one of the villagers.
while these guys are looking at the fleshy pile, I'm keeping my eyes up and about. Sort
And
of
you notice
not
that
really
the
watching.
ancora is actually not all there. The top, the orb, the actual light itself has been removed and is missing.
From his tail?
Yep.
I don't understand. The dark ones don't like light. Why would they cut off the top and take it with them? Something doesn't add up here.
Maybe they want to make a darkness ancora.
Wait, well, maybe they're immune to it. When they broke in the archives, it was well lit. He didn't back away until I bashed him with the sword. I mean the peg or whatever it was.
That's really disturbing.
And as you think that, Phil, you're actually thinking of like protecting yourself because you're a little frightened. And that little gel that's still walking around your hand, you're still fascinated with, actually turns into, looks like a kind of a plate, like a metal plate on your hand, and it solidifies around you, almost protecting your hand.
Would you look at that?
And then it goes back to its kind of malleable self.
I walk over to the puddle and I take my walking stick and I dip it in the puddle to see how deep it goes.
And it's like Mary Poppins' bag.
Gentlemen, I want to make sure that you understand this. I have no fucking idea how deep this is. I've never heard of someone named Mary Poppins. I don't understand what a bag is, but it is very deep. And I see no end. Do not.
The flaw with this game mechanic.
I put my hand in the water.
And I slap it away. No, I slap it away. Don't touch it. I'll just tell you. Listen, this is as deep goes. One wrong move and we fall in there and there's no getting out. I cannot swim. Can you?
You hear a splash to the left of you.
I don't think any of us can swim, can we?
Don't think I can. Maybe I can.
Did you hear a splash? Was it to the left of us?
And then you hear one not too far off, just like a rippling, a really...
But was it over that way?
And I slowly turn to the direction where Pinky is pointing, and
you see some rippling water. That's all.
Pinky, it's just whippling water.
And that, it's all right. Listen. I think maybe we ought to leave this area at once, and I have the map, and let us go because I know the way. And I take the map and I begin walking.
This is map.
What? I didn't grab anything else. Isn't this what I was supposed to grab? I assumed this was the path. The stone path goes up and then over. And just shut up. I know where I'm going.
You carefully weave through these deep puddles of you don't know what. You step over the corpse or that mashy flesh, and you get to a place where the land starts to become more rough terrain. And you get to the place on the map that appears to be the point that Theodric pointed out to you. And there is this wall of stone and an opening, a cavernous opening in the side. And we're going to stop there for the mid-game post. Or the mid-game
post!
I need a mid-game beer.
All right.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the mid-game post. This is the part of the game where Chris sends me a message via chat, and I post it to you guys. The question. So here is the question. Basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask it with enough time for you guys who are on a delay to be able to head over and answer the question. But so far, how's everybody liking the game?
Woo! It's fun just being light and crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. It's quite interesting.
Cool. I'm having fun too. Thank you guys.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, so the mid-game post is going to be, what is the name of the village? You have about 5 seconds to think before I post it. I'm going to post it right in 5, 4, 6, 2, 7, -1, 0, 1. It is.
Hey,
Who says you have to count in the normal way?
How's night school going for you, buddy?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah, good.
In the world of,
I got an F.
it's
That's
all
really
night
good,
school.
isn't it? Yeah, it's all night school.
Yeah, F is closer to A than it is to Z, so
That's my logic. Looks like Jake Ortega won the mid-game post with his answer of Ignis.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well done, Jake. You got the correct answer, which means you get an experience point.
Experience point that you can spend that experience in real
Right
life.
now. I'm going to do it right now. So
you could introduce something really weird in the environment. When the environment is as weird as it is in this world, think about how powerful that is.
So powerful. So here's again, just to reiterate, we wanted to wait till we got to the halfway point to allow you guys to spend XP. I'm posting right now, spend XP. In that, there is a link that will show you how much XP you have currently and the 3 ways that you can spend. So there is 1 XP to alter the environment. There is 3 3 XP? Yeah, 3 XP to add a bonus roll die to either side, the good or the bad, and 5 XP for a GM specific thing, which if you want to tell us, Chris, what that is right now, then you can.
Yeah, well, why don't we go back to what we did before? You can introduce the cipher when the time comes.
That
If you
works.
come up with an idea, we can add that in.
I'm just reading the mid-game post answers. Ignorant. Chris Lawrence writes ignorant.
Ignorant.
I think I know who the winner is.
Really? Do you? Do you, Alex? Let us know. Yeah. Oh, okay, guys. All right. So Alex picked the winner. Let's
Wait,
play
did you already
him.
say it?
I mean,
Yeah, we already did.
Oh. Way to go, Jake! Finally, you won something. Well, I guess I should leave ever.
This was Jake's moment. Alex, you stole it. That's okay. All right. Without further ado, let's get right back in the game. I'm keen to see where this little fiasco takes us.
Fiasco. We should play that.
Oh.
And we get there, and the
Pictionary.
opening of this rock.
Oh, hold on. Let me play applause before we get back in the game. So just to sort of end this mid-game
Right, okay.
kerfuffle. Here we go.
I thought you said applause, and I'm like, what is
Do it again.
applause?
You ruined it. Go
Alex, you
back.
fucked it up. 3, 2.
We got to this rock face, and inside there's a cave that you see.
All right. And I take my tail and I take the amber and I try to angle it into the darkness.
And what looks to coat the walls is this fabric, this type of almost like yarn-looking stuff that you've never seen before, all along the ceilings and the walls and coming out of the opening.
What is this place?
Christ. I think these are the Ancoraxians. I think this is where we left them. Theodrin said that there were a bunch that were left behind, and he said there was an outpost or a camp where they stayed safe. I think this might be them.
I go and I touch the walls of the cave because I don't know what rock it is.
And
I'll show you what rock is.
plays his tail.
I was waiting for that.
No, I think it would be, if I had to introduce, I'd go tie your mother down. Right?
Either
For sure.
that or Thunderstruck, but yeah.
No, I think tie your mother down has it for me.
You know what? Thunderstruck is just
No.
one string. It's really not that impressive. It's fast on one string. I think I need something a little bit more like.
But it's also not, in my opinion, it's also not like rock, right?
Guys, we're getting off topic here.
No, we're not
Yes.
getting off topic. This is entirely on topic.
Are we really doing this right now?
I'm just
And
trying
as you
to-
touch
Fine.
the wall of the cave, it feels soft and sticky and fabricy, but it seems to cling to you a little bit. This almost thread of soft, cottony feeling stuff.
wonder why they would have lined the walls with this, unless it was a security measure and it was just in case they needed to light it on fire.
Do you think it's flammable?
Does it look man-made? I mean, Hoggle-made.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen anything that hasn't been, so
Does it
It could
look
be.
Hoggle-made? I mean, I know the difference between
you have
soil.
never seen anything made that looks like this. And again, it looks brand new. And that's why I describe it. Like it's almost like a yarn or a thread. It's sticky and it's all along the sides and the top and the bottom and coming out slightly.
Right, but if it's the way you're describing it, I think I would feel it alien, not Hoggle.
Yes, for sure. Everything around you seems alien at this point.
Right,
Definitely
I
not
think so.
Hogum.
No, I would look at it and I would think less of what it could be. But I would still cautiously think that the Ancoraxians are in there. And I would
Can you
call
guys
out.
keep track of anyone who's spending XP to make sure that I'm aware of that?
I am very much so, don't worry.
Excellent.
Hello? Is anyone in there?
Quiet, you might wake something up.
You see the vibration of, I'm just gonna say what it is. The fabric on the walls. You feel the vibration.
There's something moving.
There's something there.
I was just thinking that if this is sticky, I'm thinking that there's lots of things down here that like to eat. Right? White?
Right.
And if
what is your logic there? Tell me your logic there again, Justin.
Well, everything must survive down there.
There must be some, because when I eat, I get all sticky.
Who's that voice that's interrupting our logic?
Let me explain myself. So if there's something sticky in a cave, I would imagine that it's meant to catch things so that they stay there, and then whatever it is that wants to eat it can come and get it.
Right.
Oh,
but I don't know if anything like that exists.
Sort of like the tree spiders.
Oh,
they might have cave spiders.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh.
So great.
All right. I back away from the entrance. Look, lads, nothing about this. Well, actually, wait a minute. Does the map lead to it within here?
Right in there. Points to it. It's like Marge Simpson from season 1.
I think maybe is there a path? Is there a path on the rock, not on the yarn?
Unfortunately, the only way in seems through this. But you do a roll for insight.
A natural 1.
Ooh.
A natural 12.
I think you could maybe eat the yarn.
Naturally.
I'm sure it's very likely.
Put the idea out there.
Yeah, let's think if I can eat it. No, I mean, well,
I'll try it.
Maybe I could eat it.
I'll try it.
All right, try it.
That's how I manipulate spell. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Yeah, you should do that.
I'm not hungry.
I reach down and I grab
I can't imagine it'd be that stupid.
a hunk of the
wool.
The fabric
of the wool from the corner.
The soil. Yeah, you know what? I would grab them.
Anything like cotton candy at all. Not that you would know. It is sticky, hard to swallow. Very let's see, almost like very neutral flavored.
Just to wash it down, I lick a rock.
You know,
and it's
sort of like
you want it off your tongue. It's like when you clean your fur, and sometimes you're trying to get the hair off your tongue. It kind of feels like that.
Like, is it like tofu? Do we have tofu in Ignis?
Oh, well, it's like tofu, but only tofu cooked with only other tofu.
Yeah,
Okay.
Actually, I say that to Woderwick.
actually, Woderwick, it does taste like tofu.
Toad. You mean toad cheese?
Yeah,
Phlenny.
the food.
All right, well,
Now you think you could maybe eat all of it, but it would take a long time.
Now listen, gentlemen, the map leads through there, but I got a sneaking suspicion that whatever lives in there is dangerous. Now we're
And
not completely.
Somebody else roll an insight roll as soon as he says dangerous.
Leave it up to Phlenny. The
Phlenny?
sage.
13.
Phil, in a stroke of miraculous luck, you recall that Theodric also mentioned that not everything in the darkness is evil. Do not, conflate the two.
Remember what Thoderick said? Not everything in the evil is darkness.
All right,
Not
not
everything in the darkness is evil.
darkness. No, you're right.
But yeah. So
Well, hold on. But he also said not everything in the darkness is evil, which basically means that some things in the darkness are evil, and maybe this is one of those things that is evil.
or maybe it's not.
Woderwick, I need your guidance. I don't know what to do here. This
I
looks
have an idea.
dangerous.
I have an idea.
And I walk over to an area where I'm not going to get caught in the yarn, but I just put my hand and I start shaking it.
And as you shake it, you see that the ripples go into the cave deeper and deeper and disappear as they become less and less as the energy disperses. And nothing happens. And you also notice when you pull your hand away, although it sticks to you, it pulls a little bit, it comes away. It's not likely the strength of the tackiness.
I look back at Pinky and Woderwick, and I kind of give them the "told you so" look.
Well, the way I see it,
And sorry.
the way I see it is that we want a timeline. And so we should be getting through there as quickly as possible.
The timeline. And I go, let's take this a little bit further. And I start climbing up a little bit.
All right.
Not into the cave, just so that I can see if I can detach easily.
Okay, I can do it too.
I fall into it.
Oh, and as you fall into it, it is hard because now that it's got all your surface touching it, it's hard for you to move. But when it was just like your hands and your feet, no problem. So now Phil is stuck in the webbing because he's kind of thrashed around.
Cheese and Chris.
I walk over with Woderwick. Stop thrashing, Phil, because it's getting worse.
Woderwick, can you help me with this cheese and Chris? Yeah. And we grab him up and tear him up from the sticky.
And some of it's still stuck to his face as it's hanging off.
And I'm picking up. Look, we need to walk through here, but we need to be careful. So let's take it step by step, and be careful about it.
Okay, we watch where we're going.
Very much so. And if you need to learn about rock, don't forget, tie your mother down.
As you walk in, it's cooler in here, colder again than you've ever been. Like a microclimate within this craggy rock surface covered in webs. And as you get further in and further in, your light shines off the wall and shimmers back, and just the reflection is almost mesmerizing to you guys because you've never seen anything like this. And you get in and further, and the web is all around you. It sticks to your feet, but it's not enough to hold you there. And you come to these growths almost of the web, really dense growth, and look kind of like orb-shaped, little elongated orb shapes of these webs on the floor. And there are 5 of them. However, one of them is different from the others. In fact, 2 of them are. One of them has this kind of black speckles all over, and it looks like it was growing on whatever it was growing inside. And there's an opening, and you hear music in the background. And you're like, that's what rock is. And all of a sudden, through grace, you understand what rock is.
Oh,
I figured it out, but that wasn't rock.
No, that wasn't the tune. That wasn't the song.
It wasn't the proper song.
Okay, again, so there's all these orb-like things covered in this webbing, and 2 of them seem to be opened or broken.
What do you think was in here? I say as I look into it.
Okay, the first one you look into.
And I hold my hand out. Don't look in there. Look, we're in a new place, guys. I don't believe I have to repeat this, but this is something that we don't understand.
That's a rock.
There's rock everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what a rock is.
Then we're surrounded by stone.
But we have to know what we're dealing with, Pinky. We can't just walk through here and not look at anything. We have to know what there is to be afraid of or not be afraid of.
I understand that, but look, that's not our goal right now. The map says that we pass through here. The minute we start getting curious is the minute we start getting dead. And I walk past the capsule.
I gotta say, guys, this is a lot for one day. I've never even seen any of this before, and it is not like the books say it is.
And you walk past all of them, Pinky.
Aye.
And as you walk past, you find that there's another chamber. This one was kind of open up with these 6 different orbs on the ground. And you walk past, and there's another chamber in the back. It always seems to be these 2 big openings. And the one in the back seems to have shelf upon shelf and rack upon rack that are empty. And it's evident, as there are bones lying in the corner, that something has been in here or something has died and decomposed.
Cheese and crisp. Do the bones look like they are
cleaned?
Hoggle?
Cleaned.
No, Hoggle?
Do an intellect roll.
Happily. I don't know. That's been a 3. A 3
every
and a
single
1.
time.
You don't know.
Jesus Christ. I mean, cheese.
You can tell, though, Pinky, I can tell you without a roll that some of them are clearly not.
At least that much. And I call the other guys. Phlenny! Woderwick!
I come running in with my wad up. What is it? What are we looking at? Use your words, Pinky. Use your words.
And I shine with my tail.
And you see them too. You see the bones.
What's he looking at?
Bones. Bones, Phlenny.
The only time you've ever heard of bones, because as you guys know, when a hoggle dies, you do lower them over the edge of the
Quickly. We push
yeah.
them to the edge, don't we?
You lower them to a point where the rope is too short and you drop them. But yes, you do lower them over the edge.
I see the body. Hoggle bones.
Again, you assume this much, but you're not sure without rolling.
I get down on my hands and knees. I start measuring the arm compared to what looks like where the arm was.
So you see him
measuring
picking up bone after bone and measuring against his arm, and eventually comes one that looks like it's the same length.
And then I continue.
Hoggle bones. Until there's like a full skeleton of like misshapen bones that are kind of the same size as a hog, like reproduces it.
We need to stay focused, Pinky.
Did someone do a notice roll?
I was fucking saying. You're the one that was going back there, cheese and crisps.
Good. Phil, as you're doing all this stuff, because you're not rolling for that, I asked you to roll. You still don't know what the bones are. Although you could still roll on bones. This has nothing to do with it. You can roll them bones.
No, I rolled for notice.
Okay, do that after, because right now you notice the fact, as you're searching through the bones, you see the webbing start to vibrate beside you.
And I'm still arguing with Woderwick. I was saying that we need to keep moving and keep focused. You're the fucking cheese and crisp and hoggle that was going over there, and you're acting like a dickweed, if I'm being honest. And that's the only thing that I wanted to do. Phlenny, you give me a second. I'm in the middle of chewing out, and that's the most important thing. Remember that we are here to do the things. I was Phlenny, would you shut up? What do you want, Phlenny?
And I point down to the shifting, moving web.
Well, cheese and crisp, let's fuck out of here. And I start running.
Running again.
As you run, you see a light ahead of you. And you stop and you see the lights getting brighter and brighter as a silhouette of a female hoggle stands there. And her light is like you've never seen before. It is very pure white light, very bright.
I immediately start floating off the ground.
And I put my hand on his chest. No, Phlenny. And I look at Phlenny.
And as the woman approaches,
we walk away.
Not even looking at you.
We start walking away.
There's nowhere to walk because you start going back towards the antechamber, the chamber behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So she starts walking, and she seems to be dragging something and murmuring to herself, "Only one more, and I'll be in. And what will I do then? And where will I go next? How long can I do this?" And she sits down, and you notice that there's an area where some of the webbing has cleared, and she starts hitting some stones together. You see a flash of light, which is startling, something you've never seen. And she sits down, and you smell a very rich scent. Something your salivatory glands start working extra hard, and it's rich and it fills your nostrils as the smell of cooking flesh wafts over you.
And I walk back up as she's doing this. Lady, what are you doing down here?
And she turns around and you notice that there's a dagger in her hand.
Oh, jeez.
And you see the fact that she was turning a spit of what looks to be some sort of hindquarters of some sort of creature, a leg or something. And she's turning it over the spit, and she has a dagger, and she says, "Well, why have you come?"
She
sits back down to turn the spit.
Well, why have we come? Well, we're trying. Our village is dying, and we're trying to save it.
How are you? Perhaps I can help you. Why don't you come share a meal with me? She doesn't even look at you as she says this. She turns the spit, dagger still in hand.
I look at Woderwick.
Is it a Hogellum?
It is.
We what?
It's a Hoggle.
It is.
Is she a Hogellum though too?
She appears to be. She has an Ancora, and I said it's the brighter white than you've seen before, and she's the same stature, same proportions.
And as I'm talking, I slowly try to slip around her to the exit, and I say, "All right, maybe we'll just come on the other side of you." Go, keeping as far distance as I can.
And you push yourself against the wall to be away, and you feel the warmth of the flame, which is bizarre in itself. And you sit down.
No. Oh,
no.
I don't sit down. I'm getting past her.
I reach and try to touch the flame, and as I get close, I realize it's hot.
She holds it, grabs your hand, and looks at you. Don't touch that. And she throws her hand back. Take a seat. It's nearly done. And she keeps turning the spit.
Okay.
And I keep walking past her. What's on the other side of her?
So let me describe the room for you. So this room you came into, the cavern was kind of a tunnel, and then opened up into this room where you had these growth of, orbital growths of these webbing, and then in an antechamber in the background where you saw these racks that were empty and the bones. And she's sitting by the campfire, which is kind of this fireplace, which is kind of inside the first chamber with the other orbs. So she's sitting off to the side. It's a round room, and she has her back to the door, and her back, partially to the door and partially to where the orbs are in the middle of the room.
So there's no exit to this room? Sorry. Or the door?
There's one exit that you guys came into. She's not in front of the door. She's not blocking you guys or anything like that.
So there's only one way in and one way out of this room?
You got it.
Interesting. Well, sorry. Before we continue, the map, did it lead us here?
Absolutely. This is where you're supposed to be meeting the Acaraxians.
I see.
The Ancoraxians, sorry.
So I see Pinky kind of eyeing up the exits. And Phlenny, what is Phlenny doing?
Yeah.
Standing there with my mouth open.
So I step towards this lady and I say, "Ooh, what's your name?"
My name is Serafina.
Oh, Serafina.
I'm glad that you are here.
We're glad too, right?
There's only one left.
Yeah.
One what? You said that before.
Oh, it's nearly done. And she goes back to turning the spit.
One what? One stall?
I'm an Ancoraxian. Perhaps you're here, and she laughs. Perhaps you're here because the covenant has come to an end.
What? Well, not yet. Not yet. There's still hope.
Why have you come?
The covenant has been broken, but it hasn't come to an end. We could get it back, right?
And she says there is one left again. And when she does that, she looks down at the dagger. It's starting to kind of make a little bit of sense to you now.
What, darling?
I am an Ancoraxian. My job is simple. I do not ascend with the others. I stay behind. I protect that which is the cause of all the hardship, all the turmoil between the Hogellum. I protect the items, and there's one left.
One item to protect?
And again, she looks at the dagger. The fight between the Hoggles and the darkness and the thousand nameless things ended. And so there was no need for these weapons anymore. So we kept them here, and those deemed the strongest fighters, those who were not ready to give up, the ways of war were left behind to protect them, and I was so eager to do so. And she cuts a piece of meat off and puts it in her mouth. It's not ready yet. She says it's not ready yet as she eats the rest of it.
Listen, these weapons that you're talking about to fight the Dark Ones, there's only one weapon left. The one in your hand?
One left that I have. The others are gone. I tried not to lose them. It was my job, but there's only so much a person can do.
Listen, Sarah, you need to snap out of this. And I get down next to her. Listen, it only takes one. You only need one weapon. You only need one person to stand up. Look, we are from the blessed tree. And believe me, it's not that great in the long run. But at the very least, it means that we have hope. We came down here to seek help, from you. With these weapons, we can fight the Dark Ones, and we can win. Right, Woderwick, right, friend.
Wait, there's still hope.
Hope to fight the Dark Ones. You think that this covenant was to protect from the Dark Ones? You think that is the great evil? And she cuts another piece of bloody flesh off and eats it.
I still don't think it's done, love.
As you get that close to me, Pinky, as you get that close to her, can you do a roll just to notice?
Sure. 10?
Yep, no problem. You see the same black spotted fungus, sickness that was growing on the sarcophagi is actually growing up the side of her face.
Oh.
And what would be a beautiful young Hogellum is disfigured by this sickness.
And I scooch away on the log. Listen, Sarah, it's not over. It's just one of these things that you need to remember. There's always hope.
What will I do when I have none left? What will I have left to survive?
Now look at me, Sarah, and I lean back forward a bit. Now listen to me. There is always hope. When I was a wee lad, me and Woderwick and Phlenny, the three of us, where we grew up, we were the outcasts.
She realizes that there's three of you now. And as soon as you say that, she goes, "Oh, there's a third."
There's three of us. Now listen, we were always the outcasts when we grew up. Woderwick, he doesn't speak too well, and Lenny's got a terrible voice, and I'm not too great in the head, but together we formed a friendship. And the three of us were stronger than any one person alone. And we're here now. And together, the four of us, we stand for hope.
We stand for hope.
Yeah, hope.
Hope.
Hope. You see what I mean?
Are you trying to convince her? You're trying to shake her out of this kind of hypnotic state. Imagine, okay, you get the impression she hasn't talked to anyone.
And I'm also getting, I feel that this sickness is a psychological sickness, maybe, and that it's leeching because it's sort of like, I can't remember the movie, but there's a similar movie, where like depression is basically this black sickness. And I'm trying to see if it makes any difference by actually inspiring her.
Okay, go ahead and roll to see if we have any success.
I will use a point of intellect, I guess.
Okay.
To try to boost it.
Yeah.
Down from 13 to 12.
So, Justin, can you actually reduce two more numbers from that?
Ooh.
Nice.
Wow!
And you see that the sickness actually does look like it fades and start to recede from her face a little bit. Now it's on her neck, but away from her face, and she seems a little bit more lucid. And she looks you in the eye now and says, "Hope." I remember hope.
Yeah.
Hope was so long ago. When I first woke, I had hope. And she stands up and walks over to where the sarcophagi, or the orbs on the floor, that one that's opened up. And she looks over, and the one that's covered in the black stuff that's kind of climbed in, she stands up, she says, "When I woke, I thought there was hope. I thought it was my time, the time that I had set forth to protect the items, to protect our weapons, or perhaps to defend against the covenant." And she gestures to the dagger again. And then nothing. And I grew hungry, and I needed to go and find something to eat. So I tried. I did try. But I got lost in the darkness, alone. And I had hope. And I thought if I traded a few of the items for some food, it wouldn't be missed.
Sarah,
and I did.
Listen, we all falter. We all lose hope in the darkness.
Do we?
That's what the darkness is. Yes, listen to me. The darkness isn't just what you can't see. It's the feeling within yourself of regret and fear, and it seeps in your skin and it climbs under you. But listen, there's always hope. Even in the darkest hour, there's the light that we have. And I bring my tail up to in front of me, and I say, it's what makes us us, and it's what fights back the dark. And you have that light, not just on the end of your tail, but within you. It's a spark. It's something in your soul.
And you see her, again, good enough. And you see that it recedes even further. And she says, you don't understand, though. I don't deserve hope. You don't know what I had to do. We
all deserve hope. It doesn't matter.
She walks into the back room and she gestures to the racks and she says, I traded everything for food. Not for hope. I was here to protect it.
Sarah, it's done. It's gone. You've done it. It doesn't matter. The hope still lingers.
Why are you here then? Why are you here? You're here for the items. For one item, you think this will protect the Hogellum?
Yes, I do. It only takes one item. It only takes one person to stand up and do what's right.
Do what's right. I didn't do what's right. And she walks over to the other open growth. And inside, there's nothing. And just like the other one, the one with the blackness that's inside, she says, would hope do this? And she gestures to the open thing.
Hope's not about the choices you've made. Hope's about the choices you're going to make.
And as he's saying what happened, I look inside as he's...
And it's empty. It is empty on the inside. It looks like very smooth, unlike the rest of the fabric-like webbing that's gone all over it. On the inside, looks very smooth and very comfortable. And the other one that she gestured to first with the blackness that was there is also the same type of thing, but on the inside, it looks, very tainted by this sickness.
And I'm not going to look at it, and I'm just going to continue on. It doesn't matter what happened in the past, Sarah. That's why hope is so strong. That's why light will always beat the darkness. Because no matter what, we as Hogellums, we are the ones to push back that darkness with hope. And I walk over to her and I take her hand and I hold it in mine. I say, we only need one weapon. We only need one chance, and we only need hope. You can never give up.
It's like the most sincere speech ever.
You want me to roll for it?
I walk over to the other side of her and I hold her other hand and I say, let's hope together.
And the blackness just covers her face.
No, we'll hope together.
There's no hope. With a voice like that, it's
you have to kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight.
I like that
line, by the way. Yeah,
so good.
So do you want me to roll for that?
Is it Neil Young?
No, originally it was Bob. What was his name? They covered it. No. They covered it. I can't remember. What's his name? The Canadian guy.
Bare Naked Ladies.
No, before that.
Lovers in a Dangerous Time.
No, I know, but they did it. They covered
before
it.
That, it was something.
Bob something.
Anyways.
Bruce Cockburn.
Yes.
That was
Cockburn.
That's
if you don't use enough lube.
Anyway, do I have to roll for this or not?
Yes, but it's super easy.
Okay.
Fail.
She sits down and says, I will help you. At least I can do that much. Take it. And she hands you the last.
No, that's not good enough for me. And I crouch down next to her and I say, no. The light is not about just giving in and letting others take it. It's about finding the fire and the spark within yourself and doing what's right always. I can see it in you, Sarah. I can see that the light has dimmed over time, but it's still there. You need to fan that flame. Even though I've never seen a fire and I don't know that idiom.
This metaphor is very new to me.
This metaphor is new. You must feed that wolf within you. My grandpappy once said that there are two wolves inside of you, one of dark and one of light. And when asked which one is the strongest, it's the one you feed. You must feed the wolf that wants the light. That's what you said at the beginning, right? Theoden or whatever?
Yeah, very close. Very good. I was just thinking, that's good paraphrasing. It's got the most important parts of that.
said it better than you did. Let's just.
I was not trying to go exactly that way.
Better than I could have.
It's funny because I had it up there and I was like, well, I don't want to say that, so I was trying to change it.
I say that. I say whichever you feed is the one that's going to be strong.
And you seem to have convinced her. She says, I'm an Anchor-axian. I'm here to protect the items, and in the case of the covenant being broken, I'm here to help. What can I do for you? What has happened?
Now that's right. Stand up and tell me right now, do you have any beer?
No.
Well, fuck this. Let's go home.
Hope is over.
No, I step back. My perk up done. Woderwick, tell her what we need. I was only half
what she's won.
I gotta go pee in the corner.
Well, we need the weapons. Well, you probably have a better idea of what we need.
Well, listen, lady, this is a map. Do you know if this is the only? Is there?
You are here.
We made it to the end. We made it to where we needed to be, right?
I guess we can nap now. This black looks pretty comfortable.
You made it. You did make it here, and I imagine that's where your elder sent you, if the tradition's held. But I'm afraid it was for naught. I have traded all of the items away except for one, and I did so because I was without hope. And if you were right, and you only need one, you may have it, and it is a great weapon, and I would use it to defend myself against the darkness. But what more can I provide for you? The other Anchor-axians have not woken, and I don't know if they ever will.
We must wake them then, right? Let's wake them.
We should certainly try.
Listen,
Sarah.
Sarah.
I hear my voice is an echo. It's like ridiculous.
Listen, Sarah. The covenant was that you would rise to the power when the covenant was broken. That you were the last bastion of hope between us and them. Why
we have never been the ones who would ascend.
Well, maybe that's meant
above the darkness. We were meant to stay below, and
then why haven't the others woken up?
I fear that they can never.
No.
And I walk over to and she walks over to some of the other ones, and she looks inside, and you see that there are what appears to be sleeping Hogellum in them.
Are they covered in black?
No, these ones are pure. Only the one that was covered in black. Oh. There's two that have been opened, one that's been covered in black, another one that's open, and 4 others that are still closed, all with very muscular and fit-looking Hogellum on the inside.
When were they meant to wake up?
We were told when we first entered our slumber that we would be woken when we were needed, and that if we were what was needed, we would be ready, and we protected the items. If something came to get the items, we would be here to protect them. Also, if the covenant ever was broken, we could wake up, but it has not happened, and the items were not protected.
I don't understand. If the covenant's been broken, why haven't they woken up? It obviously has. The Hogellums in our tree were attacked by a dark figure. The lights all over the cities and the world have been dimming out slowly over time.
Perhaps it is because some of the items have gone. Maybe there was something that was traded that.
Well, look, how many items did you trade?
All of them.
Well, I understand, but
I have been here for decades.
But 200?
Millennia. I needed food.
Okay, but the number.
And she looks shamefully quickly at the one that's opened, and then back to you.
I walk over to the one that's opened.
So she ate the Anchor-axians? The other ones?
Are you asking this?
No.
Well, I assume she did, yeah.
No, there's only one that's been opened. The other 4 are still closed.
The one on the spit.
I don't know. That doesn't look Anchor-axian.
Oh, I thought you said, Hogellum it looked. Okay.
So it's no. They are Hogellum.
Yeah.
The Anchor-axians, but the meat on the spit does not look like it is Hogellum flesh.
Oh, I thought you said it was Hogellum. That's why I was so freaked out.
Now, the way she was eating it and the way she was, some hindquarters she was putting there, yeah, it was still pretty creepy. The way she was
But it
eating
wasn't hogum.
So it wasn't hogum meat, though.
No.
Oh, I thought I 1000% thought. You did say it was hogum meat because we all thought it. I'm almost positive you said it's hogum on the spit. That's why we were like, fuck.
Yeah, maybe you were saying it was she's a Hogellum.
Yeah,
That changes everything.
That does change.
I'm thinking
I figured
she's
she
a
cracked
cannibal.
the things and started eating them because she was so lonely.
You might not be wrong.
So it is hogum.
That could have happened a long time ago.
Oh.
Remember the bones in the other room?
Right. Okay.
So we have to get these weapons.
She's
back?
been trading the weapons for something.
Who have you been trading the weapons with?
And for what?
And what for?
There are ravagers who live in the darkness who know how to hunt, who can provide for me, and I was trading them. And they would provide for hundreds of years meat for me. And now I am down to one weapon left. And there was a time I refused to even trade the weapons, and I have done horrible things. I've killed and eaten.
Look, put all that aside for a second, Sarah. The darkness is back, and it's systematically killing every Hogellum. Our goal are twofold: waking up your friends and beating the fuck out of the darkness. So, how do we wake your friends? First and foremost, no bullshit.
We could try opening their cocoons and seeing if they are alive even.
See if
All right. And I walk over to one and I say,
wait. And as you try to rip it open, she says, if I'm wrong, we could kill them.
all right, then no, and I back away. Well, what they're supposed to open when the covenant is broken.
There were items in here of great power. They didn't tell us what they all did. They just said protect them. Come the time that they are needed. Maybe there was something there that would save them, allow them to live this eternally. I don't know.
I walk into the items room. Was there
She's a guard, like she's a glorified guard is the impression she's giving you.
Is there like a specific item that looked like the outline?
Again, racks and shelves and things that are bare now that she's traded over the millennia to.
I turn back to her. Was there an item in specific that you traded that felt like it could open these?
And she thinks to herself, and you can see how old and tired she is, really, like in her eyes. And she thinks the only thing you have is to go to the Ravagers. If you want that item, if you want these awake, you go to the Ravagers.
Then take us to the Ravagers, and you need to perk your fucking Hogellum spirit up. And I walk over to her again. I say, we need you for this, and we need you at 110%. Your hope cannot die. You are part of the light. Now start acting like it.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems like this is an opportunity for her to redeem herself. And
You're
she
damn
says,
fucking right, cheese and crisps. Redeem yourself.
well, let's go. And she walks over to the meat that's been cooking and she cuts off pieces. And she says, it's a long journey, and throws you guys each a piece.
All right, but is this Hogellum?
And she goes back to her depressed self.
Asking a question.
Why would you say that?
Is it or isn't it?
It's not Hogellum. Oh, wait, no, it is Hogellum. No, it's not.
Not bad.
Start vomiting.
Well, if it's cooked right.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's medium rare, so.
Let's go to the Ravagers and let's get these items back and let's start being smart here, love.
This is not good for my throat. Hoggle meat.
So where do we start?
Yeah.
I'm just following her.
Well, she leads you out and she says, it will take a while, but stay close to me. Do not touch anything. And we should make it fine. Oh, and if you find you get attached to the black tumbles, get it away with your anchor as quick as possible, because they detest the smell and the reek of them.
I think we went into some of them when we first got down the tree.
Yeah,
and she starts leading you. As she's going, she's going very quick. She's very swift at being able to move freely outside, and she's hard for you to keep up. And as you keep going, she's telling you to look out for certain things and pointing out certain, poisonous creatures that slither by or crawl by or pulls across some sort of green. And she gets to a place that looks exceptionally flat, and the ground beneath you, as the light shines on, is very white, and it's all crackled and sparse, like a salt flat.
Huh.
And she goes out into the middle, and you see her take something out of her pocket. It looks like some sort of herb, and she rubs it together, and kind of rubs it in the air, and it blows around and disappears in the wind. And she says, "Now we wait." Before long,
now we wait for what?
the Ravagers.
Oh, right. And I walk over to Phlenny. I say, "How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. You feeling all right?"
I'm doing great. I don't know. Mind you, I'm a little nervous.
I pull over Woderwick and I say, "What do you guys think of all this? This is kind of crazy, eh?"
This is quite the adventure.
Yeah, considering only a few hours ago we were partying, and then now we're on some sort of adventure on the ground.
Feels pretty good. And I got to say, I'm pretty proud about Sarah. She's coming back. And I always heard, once you go black, you never come back. But go ahead. Look at it now. She's coming almost all the way back.
I heard about that saying, and I always wondered what it meant.
Well, I assume that's what it means. Couldn't be anything else.
Gotta be.
It's the only logical explanation.
That's right. That's right.
And you feel like you could continue this conversation for days. And yet, the sight before you stops you. As wisps of smoke roll in, black fog, and a creature emerges, very pale. And where eyes used to be, a very thin layer of skin has grown over, but you can still see through it translucently to the sockets behind. No eyes to be seen. And the mouth has grown very small, ears very small, but the nose on the creature is quite large and very powerful looking. And it wisps its way up to you four and says, "Why are you back?"
Well, technically, we've never been here before, so...
Seraphina, why have you come back?
Oh,
We have given you...
I'm so mad.
You said you had nothing left to trade. And it wisps around, smelling all of you guys. And you've brought others.
Does it look like...
technically, we came here ourselves.
And it places its long tendril fingers, very long, wispy white fingers, no nails, but long, on your shoulders, and kind of feels your features as it smells you.
Well, this is a bit rude. I don't quite know you, but...
Rude, you have entered our home, and you have brought nothing for us.
Hold on. I didn't understand that we had to pay to talk. It just... Sarah said that we maybe...
Why have you come? And Sarah, she stops them, Seraphina. She says, I know we don't have anything left to trade, and I'm not willing to give you the last item, but perhaps we can come to an agreement. Could we maybe borrow some of the items back, and in exchange, we will make you more in the future. And he swirls around to the front of you guys again, and is looking at you with, again, that broad nose, eyeless sockets, covered in a thin layer of skin, and he says, trust you. And he opens his hand to them. Trust you and one who's been asked to do a task that she can't even manage.
All right. Lay off, Sarah. All right. She's lost her way a bit, but we all lose our way once in a while. I'm sure you have. What's your name?
We are the Ravagers.
No, your name. And I walk up and I say, my name is Pinky. Friends call me Pinky. You, my friend, are a friend. And I stick my hand.
And it smells your hand.
Well, not bad, eh?
You smell of methylated spirits.
I suppose that's a compliment.
And body odor.
Well, that's a bit personal, but listen, what's your name, friend?
I have no name.
All right,
we
no name.
are the Ravagers.
Is this...
Are
no
these
name. Ravagers, are these the dark ones that come...
These are definitely of the darkness. They're from... Anything here is of the darkness. Now,
Yes.
But they look the
Are
same.
they the same? There's a similarity in the fact that they have that wispy smoke that is around them.
Look, you know the dark ones with the big metal faces, right?
I think you know them better than me.
Well, what do you think of them?
I think they smell
Good?
very much
They smell good or bad?
like those that bother me.
Right? Okay. So here's the solution right now. We are of people who don't smell as terrible as the dark ones, if I do say so myself. And frankly, all we're trying to do is keep the dark ones at bay. So you helping us really helps you. Help us help you. Because ultimately, anything that doesn't help us is going to be surrounded by the dark ones soon enough. And you don't want that.
What have you ever done for us?
Well, I just met you, but what would you like me to do?
What can we do for you? That's the question.
You live in the high above, never coming down from your pedestals to be with us because you think you provide for us. You think we need you.
No, I don't think any of that. What I think is that it's been too long since you and I have had a chat, and now that we're down here, let's start mending those bonds, eh? Let's build a little bridge between our two civilizations. The Hogellum's up high and the nice tentacled people down low, aka the ravagers. Look, all I'm saying is the past is the past. We both want the same thing. We don't want the dark ones to overcome everything and start stinking up the place. So together we can start building anew. I don't owe anything over you, and you can help us a lot. We'd be in your pocket.
Back
And he
pocket.
looks as contemplative as he can, someone who doesn't have many features on his face.
Look, one thing Hogellums do pretty well is give hope. And I think my friend Lemmy and I can give you a little hope. In a little song, we got a little song. Lemmy's got a little song. Take it away, Lemmy.
If you want to be happy, you just gotta look into the light. And if you want to be sad, you just gotta not look in the light. It's all dark.
And you see
All it takes is
the
a little
joy
bit.
on its face, the fact that its ears are small and its mouth is not, seems to give him some pleasure. He goes, well, that was something I've yet to experience.
Well, and see, that's what Hogellums do. But if they all die, we can't do any more songs.
We will trade. We will trade. What do you have?
Perfect. Well, and I take out my amethyst mirror. This, my friend, is something you're going to like very much. And I walk over to him and I say, this is a solid piece of a magical ingredient we have high up in the trees. It is made of pure...
And it floats past you and ignores you as it goes right over to Phil and swoops down and looks at the wobbling gel that's still on the hand of Phil. Says, what is this? I want this. I will trade you 5 items for this. Phil? Phlenny?
He's distracted. I can help. I can take you from him.
Well,
Or are you just deep in decision-making time?
repeat your offer.
And he goes, the offer stands. 5 of your ancient things for this. Something I have never before smelt.
I turn to Pinky and I kind of do this.
I don't quite know actually what you have there, to be honest, but it does seem useful. And I say, Pinky, send that over here for a minute.
But then I recall the lady, Sarah or whatever, how she kept trading ancient things for something.
But that's you're not watching this, are you? That's what we're trying to get back.
Huh?
We're trying to get back. What are you doing? We're trying to get back the items.
Are you playing Monopoly?
Are you playing something else?
Are you playing Scrabble?
She traded these weapons over decades, and we're now trying to get them back so we can fight the Dark Ones.
Right, and he's saying, "Do you want this for other items?"
Yeah, we want the items back.
But what what is he asking from us?
The thing he pointed at, the thing on your shoulder.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that one thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing you missed.
I did. I knew we were missing the other shit. I thought he's saying, give us more of them.
He is asking for that little thing, and he'll give 5 weapons in return.
Huh. Well, I look at Pinky.
Well, I don't know. I don't quite know what it is. Send it over here for a second.
I think of it going onto the Dark Ones.
No, send it over
and
here.
As soon as you do, it jumps in midair and lands on the creature.
We don't know what we just gave him, you daft wanker.
And you see him move his hand up and he says, I can't describe it. And as he does, you see the thing jumping, like forming into different shapes in his hand.
Ah.
We have an accord then. And you see the smoke beside him. And what looks to be 4 very abstract things are there. One of them is clearly a helmet. And some other ones there.
And I give Pinky this look.
We traded that little sludge monster on his shoulder for 5 weapons.
Oh,
but we never found out what it was. I just want to know what it was first.
That's good, White.
Well, I don't quite know, to be honest. We could have just given him the key to the fucking most evil thing in the world, but whatever. We got 5 weapons.
Well, if it could turn into the shape of anything, then it could turn into the shape of a key for anything in the fucking world.
And you see the ravagers start to kind of seep away, start to float away.
Goodbye, thanks for hanging out.
With it. I mean, I was.
I also sing a song which you really liked.
Yeah, we missed the 3rd part.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
All right, so I go over and I put the helmet on.
Okay, and as soon as you do, you feel a weakness in your limbs as they start to shrivel, and 4 limbs fall off except for your tail.
What?
Pinky!
And you're now lying there on the salt flats, not in pain, but limbless, with just the ankora.
Did we not trade for 5
And you
items?
see Sarah going, I told you they have great powers. You must be careful with them.
Can you take this off?
And she reaches down and says, and she takes it off. And it's taken off, but you're still a tailed stump.
So fucked? I'm just fucked?
Well, it appears to be for a while, but in an instant, you start to feel something. And it's exceptionally itchy on your sides. So itchy. And you can't scratch it. And the tail is like flailing around. And it looks like he's in so much pain.
This is Pinky? This has happened to Pinky, not all of us.
Just Pinky.
Oh, helmet.
Oh, okay.
Do you want a hand, Pinky?
He wants an arm and
He's just sitting there as a stump on the floor with his.
Maybe it'll wear off. We don't know. I don't know how long it might last.
Oh,
and
what
that
are
itching
you
is
carrying me?
so bad, like so bad.
I'll help you. Do you have that rope? I reach for his rope.
I have 10 feet of rope.
And I take Pinky and I stick him over my shoulders.
Oh,
and I say,
thank you.
Phlenny, tie him onto my back.
And I do. And I do a nice loop under
Wookiee style.
Pinky, the itching is so bad. Like you have no idea.
I can't stand it.
Okay,
I
got you, Pinky.
His own
I
back.
got you, Pinky.
And as you scratch, you feel these little nubs where his arms used to be.
Ooh, that's weird.
Oh.
And you look in it, and it looks like this little feeble hand is outside of his shoulder.
little flappy pieces of skin.
Yeah, and as you look at it, the minuscule amount, you can see that it's actually growing. It appears to be that if you wait, some time, they'll grow back.
So, what other items are sitting on the floor?
We have a greasy clear liquid, That's in like a vial.
Okay.
You have what looks to be a twist cap like jar. Sorry, like a spray can, twist cap spray can.
Yeah.
Also there. You have a leathery like strap kind of thing, almost like a belt. You have a glittering tiara.
Don't put it on.
You have the helmet. And how many is that now?
That's 5.
That's it.
Is it? Oh, wait. You said the tiara, the helmet, the liquid,
Leather strap, and
leather
the
strap,
screw
and
can.
the screw can. Yeah.
So with Pinky on my back, I turn to Seraphina and I say, "Ooh, are these the weapons that you gave to them?"
These are some of the items, yes. It appears they kept some of the more intriguing ones to themselves.
Oh.
And I also turn to Seraphina and I say, do you know what I gave that dark one?
It seems that you could control it with his mind.
Okay.
Some sort of shape-shifting device.
Recognize it.
I don't recognize. I didn't study them.
All right, boys. Let's get at it. Let's pick up the pieces and head back to the police so we can unlock those things.
He's saying this as he's on the back, very much like C-3PO.
But I do
back
say,
to Wookiee.
I understand what's happened to you with the helmet, but we have to know what these do.
Well, why don't we try? Listen, hold on. Listen, let me take the blunt of it. Since I've already fucked up my arms.
And I put the tiara on, even though Pinky is...
Nothing seems to happen immediately.
But
you do feel...
Your penis falls off.
You feel tingling in your
doesn't
head.
grow back.
And you have a strong urge to make contact with someone else.
I reach towards Seraphina.
Squeeze her boob.
And she backs away. She's, what are you doing? And she...
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I touch her arm.
And she backs... So do an agility roll to try to touch her, because she saw what just happened to Pinky, and she's apprehensive for anyone to touch them with an item.
Oh, yeah? Boom! Oh, 8.
Okay. And we'll do a roll against hers. Actually, no, I don't have to do that. I don't roll in this game. So let's think here. Unsuccessful.
Let me think about this for a second. Unsuccessful.
So she backs away. She says, don't touch me. We saw what just happened to your friend, you fool. Take that off.
Good point.
We do need to know what they do, though.
I mean, good point. So I
touch one of your friends.
And I touch Pinky because he's already.
Oh, you fucking!
You told me you were going to be the brunt.
Yeah, as soon as
I touch Pinky's side.
Oh.
You feel sexually attracted to Phlenny.
Oh, nice. That's not
you
bad.
wish so bad you could be with him in every way, but
Jesus Christ, Phlenny.
Pinky, I don't know one of your limbs,
but I want to
grow back very quickly.
Bad.
Pinky,
Phlenny, I swear to Christ, if I could just give me a.
Pinky, can you stop poking me in the back of the neck?
That's not me poking you in the back of the neck, lad. That's me poking you in the back.
That's so funny.
Do you mind if you carry me for a bit? I wouldn't mind just rubbing up against him a little bit.
We could play. Let's play.
I put them down. Let's try to go on.
Let's just do it. Let's
I look at.
Let me look at him. Just let me look at him while I'm on you.
Pinky on the ground.
Mr. Wacklebackle.
And he started.
And I take the tiara off and I put it back in the pouch.
Okay. And as soon as you take it off, Pinky, you realize what you've been doing and you feel normal again.
Well, that was interesting. Apparently that tiara makes you love Lenny, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Sarah, put it on Pitch Me.
Or this one. And as he's talking, I reach for the bottle.
Are my hands back yet, or am I still stubby?
What's that?
Are my hands back yet, or am I still stubby?
They're slowly growing, and like it seems like it'll probably take a good half.
Am I like little kid now.
It's like,
You said there was a bottle, right?
He's got little arms.
Take my good arm, that kind of thing.
Lauren is
That's right.
You said there was a bottle, Chris?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so I pick up the bottle.
Yeah.
And I like kind of observe it. What does it look like?
It looks like it almost looks like Quicksilver. It looks like mercury. The way it wobbles around in there.
So then I inspecting it, I kind of walk over and I open it. I walk back over to Pinky, and what's Pinky doing?
I'm running back to the, I'm running
against.
No. I'm running back to the fucking cave. Like, I'm out of here. You guys are fucking daft. I'm not taking this no more.
You gotta,
No, I do. They're just little baby legs.
Yeah.
I say, Pinky, come back here, kind of laughing. And I dip the rod into the Quicksilver stuff. And I just like get up, I catch up to Pinky, and I just put it on his back.
As soon as it touches him,
I'm running. I'm going detective baby legs.
It appears that these bony growths start coming out of his eyes and cover. What are we looking at?
What? Detective baby legs.
Oh, I'm so
That's me. There's where I'm running. I'm like, me.
As he touches you, these bony protrusions start growing over your eyes. They become covered in bony growths for like it appears to be like 10 seconds. He can't see anything as these bones have grown over his eyes.
It's for the way to good, Pinky.
Fine, let's just get over with. What else is there? What does it do? Just eye protection? This seems useless.
Or it blinds your enemies. Depends how you use it.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, let's just get it over with. What else is there?
So are you still running? You just
walk back with my little baby legs.
I pick up the vial.
Defeated.
Okay, so he already touched the vial. This is the spray can, appears to be.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Woderwick, he picked up the spray can, or
no? He did the vial next to the spray can.
Okay, so I'll pick up
spray me, Lundy. I'm ready.
I take the spray can and I spray Pinky right in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, so this gel.
I'm sorry about this, Pinky.
Kind of covers him, and as his hands are touching it, it is very, 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 very sticky, like exceptionally tacky. And as he pulls his hands apart, these tendrils of like sticky gack kind of goes, but they harden as he pulls away. And right at the last second, he goes BAM! And you hear a snappy noise, that same type of static snappy noise, and all of a sudden he teleports a good 50 feet away.
Ooh. I'm over here now. All right, so a helmet that drops your arms off.
Sure, how that's supposed to
A
be.
vial that blinds you. A teleporting sticky liquid. A
Tiara.
Tiara of love. And what's the last item?
The last item that you haven't looked at.
I'm gonna run over and grab it.
What haven't we looked at here? Spray can, tiara,
Helmet.
What did I say?
Belt.
Oh, the belt. Yes.
I go put on the belt. My little baby hands.
Actually, this is kind of ironic. You grow an extra limb which can be used to make an attack. So all of a sudden, another like a massive arm grows out of the side of you, and you can attack one creature.
I punch Warwick in the Woderwick for chasing me down and pouring the bone stuff on him.
So it hits you, and as soon as it hits you, Woderwick, you turn around to look, and there's nothing there. There's just this little legged arm thing, and
I'm running away.
Damn it, Pinky, that was uncalled for.
You're the one that chased me down. Anyway, I'm running back, and we gotta fight the dark ones. That's like the whole point we're doing this. Let's focus, guys.
So now that you have these items, you do manage to make it back eventually to the base of your ever-living tree. Pinky, you're back to your normal.
By the time I'm there, I'm like normal again, right?
Yes, they had to take, it took a while for you, so they were slowed down their pace, but eventually you got there. And she looks up and she says, I can't go up there.
You're right. Thank you so much for helping us. Good luck. And I start
And
climbing.
she says, wait. And she hands you the dagger.
All right, thank you. And I continue up.
That's fine.
What?
Well, I don't care.
Bye-bye, Seraphina. It was nice to meet you.
Truly was a pleasure. And remember to stay hopeful and on the side of light.
And I climb back down.
Come with us.
No,
Seraphina.
she's refusing to go back up, and here's why. She says, I was never meant to be up there. And what I've done down here, I don't deserve. Please restore the covenant. And if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll be seeing you again.
All right.
This is gonna be interesting.
You're in charge of making sure those people wake up and help us. Should it ever break. And I climb back up.
Okay. And as you climb up, you hear screaming. As Justin, can you drop down 2 more points there?
Always a good sign.
And you see bodies of Hogellum fall in past, and you say, "Isn't that who? Someone you recognize?"
Metimus!
Sure enough.
Yay!
As you, and you keep going up.
And I get to the top and I say, you know what? Funny tidbit. I read this map upside down. Luckily, we got there.
We went to... Yeah, it's still down. No, anyways. You get to the top. And you go over the last rung and you pull yourself over.
All right.
And it looks like people have been hauled up in their houses. It's like a ghost town as you get up there. And you're on the last fungus, and you hear every so often, crack, crack, crack. And it seems dim and dark. And it scares you.
I'm scared.
And you climb up onto the biggest outcropping and hear crack, crack. And these 2 figures, smoky, wearing a mask, start hovering towards you.
What do you want, you smoky bastards?
And he grabs you. Just start pulling you to the edge.
And I put on the belt.
Okay. So do you remember what the belt does?
It adds an extra limb.
Okay, so as soon as you get the extra limb, what do you do with it?
Attack it, punch him in the face with my. It comes on my chest. Whap!
All right. Roll.
Whoa, what the hell? All right, I'll use a might to do so as well. So
Okay, Justin, can you reduce it by 1 point, please?
Can't really do that.
My might? Or the
No,
town?
the town.
Town.
So you use a might, and you were successful. So this arm comes out, and what does it do?
I want to uppercut him. I want to remove his mask.
And you do. Bam! His mask comes off, and he hides his face. And he
What is
goes
he
to get
holding
away from you.
What is he holding me with?
actually, good. He lets go of you.
That's right, bitch.
So as soon as he lets go of you, he covers his face, and he goes to get away from you.
And I turn around and say, these bitches don't like their masks off. Let's fuck them up.
And as soon as his mask goes up, you notice the smoke goes away. And you see what appears to be a Hogellum, but something's not right.
What's wrong with him?
His tail, his ancora is pure darkness. Light seems to be absorbed by it.
I was white. That's where all the anchors were going.
So I grab him by his tail.
Yep.
As he tries to run away.
It turns towards you, and he goes to attack you.
Well, I was going to take the dagger and cut off his tail.
Unfortunately, you've already gone, so roll to see if you dodge his attack.
Okay, I'll spend a might to do so. Or speed?
I was thinking the same thing. Good idea,
Speed
Harlan.
to do it. Nice.
Okay, so you're successful. You hear crack, crack. And what appears to be him trying to get away, he's failing. He's trying to, but you felt like it was pulling you with him as he's trying to teleport the way he has in, and he was trying to teleport with you.
Anyway, I grab the dagger and I bring it up and cut off his tail.
And as you do, you gotta roll for that. But before that, Justin, do you want to do anything?
Yeah. So what's the other one doing?
The other one is approaching. It looks like he's about to attack Phil.
Okay. And does Phil have the tiara?
I'll let you guys decide whichever ones you have.
I took the belt
too.
I took the belt and the dagger, by the way.
Tiara. So I hold up the vial of the eye stuff, and I stick the rod, and then I just start painting the back of the one that's about to attack.
Okay, go ahead. Roll to see what happens.
On Garwood. 12.
Okay, so you hear him as he kind of like guttural growling. Oh, what is that?
Ungodly.
He stumbles around looking like he's, and he does. He falls off the edge of one of the outcroppings, and he falls. And as he's falling, you hear crack, crack. And he seems to disappear. And then he lands, boom, right beside you on the ground, covering his face.
Get him, Phlenny.
Phil, your turn. So you see this one that just found prone beside Woderwick, like looking at his face, and you see the one that Pinky's struggling to cut off its tail. What do you do?
There's nobody coming at me?
No, there was one that was going to, but now it disappeared and landed flat.
This is that one.
Yeah.
I pull the tiara out of my pocket and I place it upon his head.
Oh, what? Why?
And then as soon as you touch him and put it on his head, you become very attracted to him.
Did you put it on my head?
Unbelievably attracted to the thing on the floor.
Chris. No, I didn't place it on Pinky's head. I placed it on the...
Yeah, you idiot. It's the you just made me fall
as soon as you you put it on his head, and all of a sudden you're very sexually attracted to it. His writhing, his motions, the way his robes sway.
All right, fuck it.
Oh no, that's not what I meant to do.
No, it's just Phil. That is.
So I dropped the. Oh, it's just Phil.
Because it's only when you make contact with him, right?
Good.
I immediately bend down and try to start touching and feeling.
And you do, and we'll go back to Pinky.
All right, I have the dagger up, and I stop. I stop with the dagger, and I look down. Is the black? Is he covered in the black goo?
Hey, should I be able to roll or something?
No, you did it. It's your fault. You didn't know what you were doing. Your fault.
Do a roll for me.
Well, I feel like I'd recognize it, but okay.
Yeah, but I think you're on the right track, and the fact that you're looking for that.
Yeah, well, that would be my first thought.
So, something about his tail does seem that way.
Oh, well, like him.
Like it's the same darkness. His face, you can't see it on his body, no.
But his hand. Oh, I can't see anywhere.
No, nothing. It's not on him. But there is something that you are making a connection when you're looking at him.
I want to try something crazy.
Let's hear it.
But I don't know how good of an idea it would be.
If it's good, if it sounds cool enough, I'll make it work.
It doesn't sound like a good idea. But I'm gonna take my tail because I can control my tail separately, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna whip my tail around and I'm gonna. It sounds gay, but I'm gonna touch it with this. I'm gonna touch our tails together because I'm holding it, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna touch my tail with his.
Sure. As soon as you get it close to his, you actually feel that something is happening. You feel, like I said, the light that is around you seems to be being absorbed like him by it. You feel despair, you feel sadness, and you feel
And as I'm doing
it feels like a struggle, but at the same time, you can see he's reacting.
Yeah, as I'm doing it, I'm thinking really strongly about hope, and I'm saying to him, "You lost hope, friend. I'm Scottish. You lost hope, friend. Don't let it take you like it took so many." And I bring my tail towards his.
Okay. Roll to see how successful you are.
Okay, 8.
So you're successful, and you see that he seems to be weakening and struggling. It's not changing him, but you seem to be suppressing him.
Okay.
Okay, and he looks like he grabs something. Oh, roll for me, sorry.
14.
And he throws it at you. Wham! And in your face, you feel this black powder hit you. And immediately you feel that despair that you felt by touching him. And you feel angry. And you look to Phil. And you look to the Woderwick over there, a friend of yours. And you despise them. And you feel like, why are they here? What's the point?
Fucking daft wankers, you're making me do this all myself. You've been doing nothing the whole time. You've made me pull your weight.
What are you talking about, Woderwick?
You fucking know exactly what I'm talking about.
We're trying our best right now.
I've had to do the entire thing my goddamn self. I've been the only person jumping down here and fighting this. I'm going more Irish.
You see the one on the floor who was covering his eyes start to act, stop covering his eyes, and it looks like he's trying to get back up.
But I'm still holding his tail.
Phil, and he's taking off that tiara.
I'm cuddling.
As soon as he takes the tiara off, you feel normal, and he throws it over the edge.
Oh,
He looks towards you. And he looks like he's about to attack again. And he looks to grab you. Phil, actually, Woderwick, he's going to go towards you.
Okay.
He goes to grab you, so please try to dodge.
Okay. And I'll use an effort for speed.
Okay, can you take a point off 33? You hear a crack in the distance and a scream. Whoa. Awesome.
Natural
So
20.
you feel that he's about to grab you, and as soon as he grabs you, you hear that sound, crack, crack, and he teleports you. And you're both now falling in the darkness. And he's trying to push you away and try to get you off him in order to teleport away from you. So that way you will fall.
Hold on to him and give him a big hug.
And he's struggling. And since you got a 20, you do manage. And right before you hit the ground, snap again. And you land, wham, on top of him. And you hear a crunching as his bones break underneath you.
Oh.
And he lies there dead.
I didn't mean to do that.
I look over I scramble to the edge. And
He landed feet away from you. When he teleported back onto just above the pier. But the same momentum carried him to the ground.
Mm.
I look over the edge, and I see Woderwick down at the bottom. Maybe I don't see him, but I holler down.
And Peter, as you see Phil leaning over the edge, you feel this urge, this deep-seated hate towards him, and you start stumbling towards him. And the hope inside you seems distant as your tail flickers.
And I want to fight it.
Go ahead.
I want to fight it. I'm going to use, what, intellect?
Yeah.
For, 7. Or, well, whatever intellect boosts it. I forget. Is it 3?
And
what's the spray?
you can't fight it.
God damn it.
And you feel the urge, and although you fight yourself, you push. And Phil, you feel your weight distribute, and you feel like you're about to topple over.
That's an odd feeling.
Redistribute.
Feels like I'm being lifted.
And you start to tumble over the edge.
Wow.
Well, as this is happening, I'm climbing up the rope again because I was at the bottom, right?
Yeah, and you landed really close to them because he teleported back to that.
I would have hollered down, grab the tiara.
The tiara's gone. It's just falling through way over.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh.
So Woderwick, what are you gonna do? So you just witnessed Pinky walk over and push Phil, and it looks like Phil's toppling over the edge.
I've got the spray though.
You've got the spray, okay.
I do.
So you don't know this. So what do you do?
I shout, no, Pinky, no!
Okay, Phil, you have one action.
I am going over, and despite my best intentions, I can't hold on, I assume.
No, you're going over.
So I spray myself.
Okay. And you feel the gel hit your face, and you start to tumble over. And you're going to crash. You're falling down. You're falling.
Put my hands on my face just like I watched Pinky do earlier. I pulled them off, and
snap, and you teleport back up, and you land beside where the other one did.
I don't know how that worked.
Pinky, you think you killed your friend, and the despair grows in you.
I want to fight it again.
Okay. And you see his tail flicker and start to change dim and get darker. And just this little flicker of light still in there. And Woderwick, you turn towards him.
And you see the blackness on my face, Woderwick. You're worthless. You're nothing.
Come here, Pinky. You need a hug.
I don't need a hug. I don't need no fucking hug.
Yes, you do. You need a hug. Come, quickly.
I need you to fucking die!
I immediately jump, and I place the helmet onto Pinky.
What? No!
You feel that same tired wither away. And you hit the ground.
There's this little fuming, armless, legless bundle of hate.
And I go over and I pick him up like a baby and I give him a big hug.
And I also enclose him.
I'll take the 17.
In a big hug.
Oh, that's nice.
And I say, I'm sorry about the tiara.
And
I totally meant to put it on myself.
And the spots, the illness recedes. And Pinky, you feel much better, although you were itchy.
I'm sorry. Oh, god damn, not this itching again. I'm sorry, guys. It's not me. It's that black powder. They blew it in my face, and I felt nothing but despair and hopelessness.
And just then,
that's what they're doing. They're attacking people and blowing it in their face. We need to stop them.
Just then, a man walks out, Theodric, and he looks down at the body, and he takes the mask off, and he looks and he says, "They're Hogellum." And as the realization washes over him, he thinks back to the forgotten people who fed the wrong wolf, who chose darkness over light. And with that knowledge, he spreads it throughout the rest of the village. And the fear and worry of these beasts from the dark, the unknown, vanishes. And the power that these creatures had over you and your village is diminished greatly, to the point where the attacks become futile. You guys band together, and nothing can stop you. You proceed to pass it from village to village. The word is passed out. You go to one village, and they spread it to 2 villages. And those villages spread it to 2 more villages, until the stars in the sky are backed. And we'll end it there.
Hey!
Well
done.
Now it's the end credits where it freeze frames, and it turns out it's like Pinky and the guys went town to town becoming inspirational speakers. All right, you guys out there, you want to be better people. We want you to be better people. Here's what you're going to tell yourself. Never give up hope.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
It's what you need to fight the darkness. Hope. It's what you need to fight the darkness. Hope. It's what you need to fight the darkness.
And you see a bunch of Hogellum jumping off the edges.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Viseau, for running again. Such a crazy world. This was, of course, the Hogellum went traveling. This was a game for the Cypher system that Chris made up on this Wednesday evening. Thank you so much, Chris, for making this. Thank you so much for everybody who came and hung out with us.
Yes.
This was a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you. This is a lot of fun. It's always fun to play something a little wacky, a little kooky, totally improvised. Completely improvised, and thank you so much for hanging out and spending this time with us. It is always such a pleasure to do this with you guys and for you guys. So thank
always
you.
Good, especially like good change of feel before we go back.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
We still don't know what's up for next week, so we're gonna find out. But soon we will be back to Grim, our Call of Cthulhu, I guess, and we'll see what happens. So, but thank you again to Chris. Thank you to these guys below me.
I will not.
Did you say blow me?
What's that?
Every time.
We're in the tiara. It is 18+. So thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Have a fantastic Wednesday night, and have a great weekend and everything else that's going on. And that is it. And as Chris always likes to say,
we'll see you around the table.
We'll see you around the table, guys.